Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit. I just realized I was on the wrong character, so I'm switching over right now. So yeah, hello, hello to the chat. I know I'm off to the side a little bit because I usually have my chair over here, but the cat decided she was going to get on my lap right now. So I am where she left me, as it were, and I'll be scooching over. And I could well, but then when she moves, I want to go back. So I can lean over now. It's okay. Hello, Skagosi. Good to see you in the chat there. Yes, I have a cat laying across my lap, and she is actually on my wrist ever so slightly. So it'll just make for an interesting adventure today. So, welcome to Heart of a Hobbit, everybody, here on the official lotro.tv slash twitch.tv/Lotro stream. That's it. That's all there. All the elements are there. And we are on Treebeard today. Oh, hey, I still have that saying Lyndelby. Let me change that because we are not currently on Lyndelby. I've gone back to Treebeard for the moment, although we might switch over to Laurelin here in a bit, actually. But here, we'll start with Treebeard. So here on Treebeard, we are at one of my houses. So I went ahead and bought two of the Lyndelby houses on two of the servers. So 2 by 2 at the moment. So I've got two houses on Treebeard and I've got two houses on Laurelin. So that's why I might switch over to Laurelin to show you those two houses because they're not the same addresses. So this is the new Lyndelby housing that they just premiered last week. So this is the new Hobbit Premium housing, and it's located way the heck out here in the Wells of Langflood, so this is where it's located. So if you're like a low-level character, or not higher level character, I should say, I guess it's like level 130 or something out here. So if you haven't been out here, yeah, you haven't seen any of this space. So I don't know that I have any characters that have made it this far yet in the game. So I haven't quested in this area, for example. But you can buy a house. You can buy a house anywhere. I mean, yeah, when the premium houses open up, regardless of where they're located, you can buy a house. It's just a question of how do you get there. Now, when they released Rohan housing, so let me step back just a smidge. The different housing places where you can buy housing. Originally, it was just an area door. There were 4 that you could choose one, and those are like the original standard housing. Yeah, are you done? Okay, she's done for the moment. All right, let me scooch over. So in Ered Luin, you have the Thorin's Hall homesteads, which look very dwarvish, as you might expect. You've got the Falathorn homesteads, which are very elvish. Over in the Shire, we have the Shire homesteads, unsurprisingly. And then over in Bree, we've got the Breeland homesteads. So those were the original 4. And you can own one of those standard houses. So then they released premium housing. The first premium housing that they did was out here in the Cape of Belfalas, out here in Gondor. And you could buy a house out here in the Cape of Belfalas. And I think you just had to get there. Oh, but they also have a housing broker who stands around the fountain in Bree. Let me turn that down a little bit. By the Boar Fountain. So you could just walk up to this lady by the Boar Fountain in Bree and be like, hey, I want to go look at a house. And poof, she would just send you out here to this havens of Belfast, out here in the Cape, right? So that was convenient. Well, then they introduced Rohan housing, and they didn't have somebody standing by the Boar Fountain for Rohan first came out. And Rohan housing is out here. There's one in Kingstead, so the Kingstead Meadows homesteads, and the other one is the Westfold. I thought it was in Westfold. Anyway, it's more in the mountains area. Maybe they're both in this area. Anyway, so you've got this housing out here in Rohan, and Rohan's like level, 80, 90, something like that. Well, they didn't have somebody that got you there. So you basically had to find your way out to Rohan, you know, get like somebody to port you, or you ride to like Edoras and take the stable master and pay a mithril coin. And I mean, it was chaos the first day or two. So what they ended up doing, as Talarian has mentioned there is a housing broker now in Bree. So when you go to Bree, the town of Bree, there is by the mayor's house, just nearby that is, oh wait, maybe this is the mayor's house. Is that the mayor? Notary? I can tell you where it is when I get there, like, right? Okay, so that's the Prancing Pony. So this is the Boar Fountain. So yeah, so down here, wait, that's so it must be across the street. There it is. Okay, so yeah, so it's kind of closer to the south gate than the north gate, really. But anyway, so yeah, just across from where the mayor's house that you go into for that one quest that sends you up to further north. Anyway, so now they have a building where they put the housing brokers from those original four, and then also the premium houses for the Belfalas housing and the Kingstead, Rohan Kingstead housing and the Rohan Eastfold housing. So those were all there. Then when they added Erebor housing, the very dwarfish style premium housing, they added a housing broker in there for that. And now they've added Lyndelby to that group. So now there's a Lyndelby housing broker there as well. So, shoosh. Talarian mentions that Lyndelby was the first that you could travel without doing a housing tour, at least to my knowledge. Well, it might have been Rohan, and it might have been Erebor. They added those books because what happened here, let me just actually go there. Hang on a second. Let me get out of here. We'll come back and look at my house here in a minute. I'm going to go travel to Lalia's Market, which is a fantastic little travel skill. Yeah, Aaron Bard says it's getting crowded in the broker office. Indeed. And so it's funny to me because when they first set up the broker's office, I was like, this is a brilliant idea. And then as they have added Erebor and now Lyndelby, I'm like, you know, they can redo this space. I don't know why they don't. So yes, as before points out, they added the books, which I'm going to show you here on stream, a little while ago, because once a neighborhood was sold out, the housing broker didn't show that neighborhood anymore. But one of the things that you get on Laurelin and Landreval, especially on Landreval, are parties in various housing areas. And in the especially for a while, there were some parties happening in like in different Rohan areas. So they were running into a situation where it was like, great, I could go here and I can tour a house, but none of the houses in that neighborhood are available. Therefore, I can't get to the neighborhood I'm trying to get to where the party is. So they added this thing. Let me see who's got the cleanest look here. Maybe we'll go to talk to this guy. Let me take the names off for a second so I can point at things. So this guy is the Thorin's Gate housing broker. So the regular Dwarven housing. Next to him, so if I were to click on him, I could go and tour a house out of the list that he has, or pop myself over to the neighborhood. But if I just want to go to a neighborhood but there's no houses available, there's now this book here, this ledger, and that has every single neighborhood available listed, even if it's full. So that's how you get to those neighborhoods that are full now, which is really awesome. So that's a really handy thing. So in here you have, Thorin's guy, you've got Berginda, who's for Rohan Kingstead, and then you've got Duland, which is the elf group. You've got Erebor housing, which is the other dwarf, the premium dwarf. You've got Mickledelving, which is regular hobbits. You've got Rohan Eastfold, which is premium. You've got Cave of Belfalas, which is premium. Come back here, we've got Breeland housing, which is the standard man look. And then over here in the corner, we have our Lyndelby person. So I'm like, hello, why not have it that you walk in here and there's like, already we've got a doorway here. We could make a whole bunch of separate little alcoves, little separate rooms, or have like a couple of different large rooms with them spread out a little bit. I mean, maybe they like to be very, you know, chatty with each other, so being right next to each other is nice for them. But it sure makes it inconvenient if you're a player coming in here to try and look. And it was so funny when Lyndelby Housing opened, like, there would be like a crowd of people around this poor girl, and we're all trying to like get to the book and trying to get to her, and it's like, it was a little chaotic in here. So yeah, I think spreading them out a little bit would be nice. Just saying, which would be nice. Okay, so let's see. Shake Hands says, great info. Thanks, guys. Yeah, happy to answer any questions here on the stream. That's what we're good at. So Talarian says, how do I get to the neighborhood I am in? But you don't know the name. Sure, I can show you a couple of things for that. Before mentions, there is the travel window 2, which I love. I use that prolifically, which it looks like a little suitcase. Mine's down here at the bottom. And it opens up this window where you have all of your travel skills. Now, I'm a hunter, so I have a lot of travel skills. Most people don't have quite this many. But you can travel to kin member's house with that icon. You can travel to your kinship house with that icon. You can travel to a premium house with that icon. And what that's going to do is, if you own more than one premium house, it's going to take you to the one you most recently visited, just like the travel to kinship member's house will do. It'll take you to the one you most recently visited. And then you've also got travel to personal house if you've got one of those. Now, under your character, you have a house button here. And I've actually bound mine because I want to make my life easier. So I actually bound mine to Shift H, because why not? H for house, right? So I can list out all the houses I have here. And this is the housing panel that you get to from the character thing also. It's the same panel. And it tells you the neighborhood and which homesteads it is, what kind of house it is, and which character of yours is the owner of that house. And then the address is the big print at the top. So, so Talarian, that would be another way to find out the name of the neighborhood without having to like travel to your neighborhood, is to look at your housing panel, which it looks like that. Now for me, I have a regular house in Whitwich in the Shire Homesteads. And then I have the kinship house. I'm part of the kin, so I have access to the kinship house. Also in Whitwich in Shire Homesteads. And then it shows me here in Drevlin in Lyndelby Homesteads, I have a house. In Falwick in Rohan, Eastfold Homesteads, I have a house. And then also in Drevlin at Lyndelby Homesteads, I have a house. So it's funny because it doesn't put those in like, I'm not sure what the order is, because it's definitely not the order I purchased them, because I purchased both the Lyndelbys at the same, like right after each other. So I don't know. I'm not sure why they're in that order. It's kind of funny. Now, another thing you can do while you're in this panel, there's a couple cool things you can do. One, you see there's like a little star next to some of the houses. You can't star the kinship house, but all the houses that you own, you can pick one of them and you can star it. What that does is when somebody picks travel to kinship member's house, and the way you use that skill is you go to your social panel, you go to your kinship, and you pick a kinship member. So maybe I want to pick, I want Sandrella. So I click on Sandrella here, and the visit button you see is available. It's lit up for me there. So then I can click that visit button, and it's going to use, and it just tells me right there, use your kinship travel skill to visit the selected kinship member's primary residence. So what has happened before now is Sandrella, in her housing panel, went in and starred her house. So let's find out which house she starred. I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going to go, but we'll find out. So starring one of your houses is really handy. I recommend you do that even if you don't plan to ever use that skill or have other kinship members use that skill. It's really handy to make available to your other kinship members. So that's a really nice thing to do. Yes, I was expecting this house. Fantastic. So, and what has happened is Sandy has a bunch of houses, and all of her characters start with the same beginning. So that's why I was pretty sure I was going to go to the same house. And she has done that with all of her characters, gone into the social panel and gone into her housing panel and starred this house for each one of her characters. So you can, even though this a different one of her characters owns this house, all of your characters go to the same, have access to the same house, right? So you can star it as your primary residence. You can also play fun hijinks. Like over on Evernight, I have a mead hall. And so my Bjorning has the mead hall starred as his primary residence, but my high elf has my Bree house starred as her primary residence. So if somebody wants to travel to the mead hall, they go and they pick my Bjorning and travel to his house. But if they want to travel to the kin neighborhood, they pick my elf and they travel to her house. So you've got some options there. All right, let me catch up on chat real quick. Before also points out that you can click on the tent thing. You talk about the management, housing management? On your radar, and it'll say currently visiting the house, of, and in this case it says Sandar. And it gives me the address here, 3 Wending Way at Whitwich Homesteads. It is a standard house and it tells me more information. One nice thing you can do with your housing panel also is you can set your permissions on a house. So for example, my house on Myrtle Court here in town, I'm gonna go to my permissions, and for everyone, I have set that they can visit, they can do maintenance, and they can use my decorations. So setting your house for allowing others to do your maintenance is kind of nice, because if you go to like I'm at somebody else's house right now, I can go to the maintenance tab and she has made it available for other people to pay her maintenance for her. So I could be like, wow, I'm really grateful that you let me use your boxes here. Thanks. I'm gonna pay up some of your maintenance, and I can just deposit that and it helps out her. It's also really nice to do that if, because you never know, something could happen. You might get busy with life, and then other kinnies or other people can come in and pay your maintenance for you while you're gone. So that's really handy. You want to come back up? She's decided to come back around. Let's see. Aaron Bard asks, question, is D-U-I-L-O-N-D pronounced du-il-ond or dway-lond? So there's lots of discussion on how to pronounce things. I pronounce it Duland. So neither of those. I would say that's a good question for the Tolkien professor on a Friday. He will have an opinion based on what he knows of the different languages, and that it's a Elven language, and so he'll have an opinion on that. So you might get a good answer there. Talarian says, not be on the ground of a house will also help get the name next to the mini map. So like here it says I'm at 3 Wending Way. Let's see. What's that? Oh yeah, if I walk to the road, if I walk away, it'll tell me the neighborhood that I'm in, which is Whitwich right there. So yeah. Green Taya says, thanks for the explanation. You are welcome. Speaking of tea, I should have a drink. Talarian says, I visited the Lyndelby house on a second account, which I changed to English. I forget you don't play in English. To check if the bingo map of the Shire is only mirrored in German client. Yeah. And now I wanted to travel there on my main account. Oh yeah, so you're trying to figure out how to, do that with the right buttons. So for me, like I said, I've gone ahead and done a key binding. So you can do this in, go to Control O, brings up your options panel. And under key mapping is this button down here close to the bottom. The second from the bottom is key mapping. And you scroll down, let's see, I probably just, housing panel. I'm just going to type in house. I just got to HOU and housing panel. I went ahead and bound it to be Shift plus H. that wasn't being used for anything else, or if it was, it wasn't anything important to me. So now I can just use that for my housing panel, and I find that super handy. Okay, so that's how that's what I do. Let's see. Oh, and Aaron Bard, oh yeah, so the conversation before mentions that in Dutch, UI, as you would find in Dueland, is pronounced kind of like au, as like in house. So sometimes we think Dueland, but it's not. It's not going to be that because, yeah, he wasn't, I don't think Tolkien was basing some of these names off of anything Dutch. Hey, but speaking of going to houses, let's go to a house. Let's go to one of my premium houses. Let's figure out where I went last. It'll be funny if it takes us out to Rohan. So when I bought the 2 houses in Lyndelby, I started moving my housing decorations from various houses out to my Lyndelby houses. The process is absolutely not complete. So I am not, like, my houses are not fully decorated, so no judgment, okay, guys? Okay, so Wellforth Way, I love this house. So there's a handful of different kinds of houses in Lyndelby. So let's talk about Lyndelby housing, which I'm very happy with. It is Hobbit housing. It's lovely. The music is great. The setting is lovely. The only thing I don't like is it feels like the neighborhood is a little spread out. And I get it that this gives everybody large yards, but I kind of would have loved to see it the other way around and have the houses kind of in the middle and have the yards spread out, fan out the other way. That way you could get from house to house really easily. I think that'd been really cool. So, so where you see this little, on the Lyndelby Homesteads map, where you see like a little divider here where it kind of has a fork in the road, but then it terminates, usually what that means is there's a house there. So yes, B4 says, surely Elvish is closest to Dutch. Jolie Rondell says, that's a nice one. I do love this house. I bought the Stately Deluxe Smile with the interior waterfalls for fishing. Oh, I can definitely understand that. Okay, so let's take a look. So right now I'm on Wellforth Way. There are 2 houses on Wellforth Way. There's one that ends here, and then there's one that ends over here. If you go up High Law Lane, you'll see that there's 3 branches here. That's because that's where the kin house is located in this neighborhood. There is a kin house. There's one kin house in every neighborhood. If you come down here along Edgemere Road, there's one that pops off here. There's a house down at the bottom. If you come back up to the kind of the main road to Floodside Road that takes off here, you see you got 2 little branches here. So there are 2 little Smials here, and those are some of my favorites. And then if you continue on Floodside Road, there's one here and, oh, the other one's here. So those are there are 4 small ones on Floodside Road. You know, before I get any much further, let me pull up the wiki page. Lotro Wiki is so smart. It now knows if I go to type Lotro-wiki, it just goes, do you want Lyndelby Homesteads? I'm like, yes, I do. Okay, so this is the list of where you find the different types of houses. There's 4 different kinds of houses. There's the small, and then there's the deluxe. Let me make sure I get these words right. Actually, let me go back to my page I just had open. It's still open. Okay, let's see. Yes, we have the small and we have the deluxe. And then within each of those, there's, of the smalls, there's 4. And of the deluxe, there's 6. Now, there's a small stately, there's 1. And there's a deluxe stately, there's 1. So that's kind of like, take the small but beef it up. And then there's also take the deluxe and beef it up. So there's 1 of each of those. The stately, let's see, the deluxe stately is the one way out here at the end of Glenmouth Path. And where's Stonegate? Oh yeah, and then the small stately is way at the end of this Stonegate Path. It's got a lovely ride though, so we'll definitely do that because I ended up buying that one over on Laurelyn. So we'll go up there and take a look at that. And then let's see. So this is a deluxe. This is a small, deluxe, deluxe, small, deluxe, kin house, deluxe, deluxe. I think that might be all of them. Okay. Telerian says, I'm on your side. Technically, I'm on your side, but from a role-playing aspect, I see that these houses should be more hidden. Okay, that's fair. But from a practicality standpoint, we are running into each other. We want to run into each other in the neighborhood, right? And so having the homes so far away from each other, and that's where you spend most of your time. Bye, baby. Cat's gone again. I would have liked to have been a little bit closer to each other when we pop in and see each other and stuff like that. So that's how I feel about it. But we'll come back to that. Okay. Aaron Bard says, I spent time searching for the house with the, spoiler, cave, gave up and bought one, and you found the cave. And Jolie Rondell says, nice feature in the stately small smile. So we'll take a look at that. But this is just a regular deluxe smile, or small, however you pronounce that word. So they all come with a cute little place for your horses in the front. And when you buy one of the houses, actually from Rohan forward, so Rohan, Erebor, and now Lyndelby, they always give you the bobbledoodles for the hitching posts. They give you, I forget it goes right into your wallet. I don't think it's called a hitching post. No, it's called something else. But you get a handful of them when you buy the house. So if I want to create, so this is basically a decoration now. This horse that's standing here, the steed of the Simmering Breeze. What I did is I didn't go to my character screen. I go to my collections panel. I pick one of the mounts that I have. So let's pick a nice one. What do I want to do? How about, oh, the fireworks laden goat is cute. Okay, so I'm going to grab this fireworks laden goat. So it looks like that. So this is the decoration item I'm going to create right now. So I've got my mount that I want to use, and I've got a hitching post here. So I'm going to click on the hitching post. I'm going to right click on it. And you see I get this decoration thing. And it's like, hey, you need to slide something into this spot. Well, I don't have one already made, but I have the things in my wallet and I have a mount. So I'm going to take those two together, and those will be the parents, and they're going to create an offspring, which is the housing item. So I drag my goat over to the hitching post, and it's like, hold up, you can't just drag a goat in here. But we could create a decoration using that. And one of your steed halters, that's what it is. So so now it's like, hey, do you want to do that? Do you want to create a housing decoration from your fireworks laden goat skill plus one steed halter cost? Do you want to make that? And it tells you how many steed halters you have left. I have 19 currently because I keep buying houses. So the answer is yes, I want to do that. So now it goes ahead, it automatically slots it for me, which is handy. So now you can see I have a decoration. That is a goat. I'm going to turn them around so these two can chat. All right, and we're going to save that, close our decoration panel. See, and now I have a goat and a steed of the Shimmering Breeze. And so they've got, he's got company, so he's not in there by himself. So that's how you use these steed halters and put them on those hitching posts. Now I can, just like any other decoration slot, I can take that hitching post that's been created and remove it from that spot. And I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'd rather have him on this hitching post over here. So it's just a different spot, but now I've got this decoration item. I just slot it in, and there he is. Let's turn you around so you're chatting. And maybe we can bring you to there. Sometimes they reset, I've noticed. Like let's see if he actually comes out or not. All right, let me close that. It does seem like some of the decoration in Lyndelby is a little buggy. So my hope is that over the next few weeks, they'll be kind of tweaking that a little bit and fixing that. So Angel Rundle says, I get private stables for my houses. Yeah, you can kind of look at this as like the public stable, right? This is like where your guests can like leave their steeds. And then you could put out, you know, another one. So for example, I could put out here. Do I have one on me? Oh, you know what? I probably don't have one with me. Let me go to my shared storage. And hopefully all my characters would put things away like they were supposed to. I've got 2 housing carryalls on this server. Because, you know, you need it. Yay! There we go. I wonder why it's doing that. I noticed that when you go to pull something out of your housing carryall, it's dropping 2 of them for some reason. Why is it doing that? Let's see, what size is this? This is, oh, just yard, it doesn't matter. All right, we'll put it in this enormous yard spot because it is enormous. And we'll turn you around, call it good. Sweet. All right, there we go. Oh, wow, it's right on the river there, isn't it? So I got a river here, which I kind of like. So that's nice. I could go fishing in my own little yard. Jewelry Rondel asks, does your house have a fire pit hook? Yes. Hang on a second. I'll go in there. Oh, and Tillarian says, I think Sonari's approach was also not to allow players to block neighbors' doors by moving large objects from your lot to your neighbors. Oh, that is actually a good point. No, that's a fair point. I'd forgotten about that. That could happen. Because, yeah, over on Evernight, we spent a lot of time in, what's the area with the Ents? Fangorn. And so there's some decoration items you can get in Fangorn, which are basically these ridiculously huge trees. And they, you know, they're walking. And so I have them like at my house border, and they do reach out into the street in Bree, in my Bree house. So yeah, there's that. Yes, I do have a fire pit. Sorry, I was going to pop in there and show you. Aaron Bard asks, does anyone else experience tripping or hanging up on the Lyndelby interior doorways? Yes, I do. I find it on like that one and that one. And, oh, there's a door. I get lost in my house. I started decorating the walls differently so I could tell the difference between where I was. And like, oh, that one I just hopped right over, didn't I? But that one I just hopped right over. So speaking, okay, so this is a deluxe house. And so like there's these little alcoves down here. The reason I'm showing you this is important because it's different in the stately house, the deluxe stately house. This is a deluxe house. Okay, so I've got these little alcoves, super cute. There we go, tripping. Let's trip over that wall. Okay, am I in the main room? I think I'm in the main room. Wait, I got lost again. Oh, cool. Okay, this is my front door. I haven't decorated this house yet. I just bought it and ran away. It was kind of a last second thing. In the other house I decorated a little bit more. Okay, so yes, I believe the fire pit is in this room. Yes, here it is. So it's this long piece right here. I think all of these houses come with fire pits. So you can do the actual fire pit thing, or you can buy, you can put anything else in that slot. But yes, so there's a fire pit slot. What I ended up doing, yeah, I'll show you in another house. Let me zip around here. Let me go, actually, let's go outside. We can ride to the other house. Which other house do I have on this server? I forgot. Oh, I have the one up in the mountains. Right on. So that would be up Stonegate Path. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the center of town, which, okay, here is another really cool thing I love about this house. So here's where you pop in, right? Here I'm like my front entryway and so on, and then you can see. But check out this, okay, so there's a fork in the road here. If I go up that one, it takes me up this way and I can go up to Wellforth Way and visit my friend up there. But if I take this path that goes straight down, like, holy cannoli, look where I'm at. I'm in the center of the town. Like, 2 steps and I'm there. When I didn't realize that when the neighborhoods first opened, but once I realized that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is my favorite location in this entire neighborhood. Because, boom, like, there's my window. Like, everything you need is just right here. I'm like, oh, so good. So good. You can do all your crafting and stuff here. Although I haven't actually started doing that. I've been doing some farming. I need to go back and see if the farm... I think the farmland is actually farmland. I'll show you. I'm like babbling. Hang on. The housing furnisher here. This is the person you want to talk to about a whole bunch of the housing furnishing you can get. Which one of the categories is, what is it called? Structural? Nope, that's it. Not it. Yard? Is it in yard? No, there's a new housing hook called fences. Okay, it's not ambiance. It's not furniture, I don't think. Another cool thing they did is you can buy all these things that make it, you can make your house look like a stall of a shop of some sort. So there's like an inn sign, you've got like market tables, you've got tents that are open with stuff or tents that are closed. I mean, there's a whole bunch of really cool stuff you can do in this one with these new things. There we go. Okay, it's under paints and surfaces. Okay, whatever. So that's where they put fences. So this is a cool new feature you can do. I'm using the 3-post fence. That's my favorite right now. Yeah, palisades. Oh, palisades are huge. Like, and there's different areas you can get those fences now. Like there's some elf stuff somewhere, and like there's all sorts of different places you can get them now. The far-ranging stable master is right here, super handy. There's the supplier, which because you own a house in the neighborhood, you should get a discount. And then this, I'm pretty certain that this is actual farmland. I'm not a farmer, I can't test it. But I think this whole area is farmland, so that's super exciting. Okay, so we're gonna go check out my other house in this neighborhood. So we're gonna leave the center of town, we're gonna cross this road, bridge, but first before I get up there, let me show you something that is like one of my favorite features in here is, okay, so this is number 4, Floodside Road, and it's one of the Smials. So it's right there, and you've got like all this cool little yard stuff. And then right across this bridge is number 3. And it's perfect for like meeting and talking over the fence post and all of that. So I love that. I got one of those on Laurelyn, and then one of my other friends got one of those, got the other one. And I love it. I think it's so good. So Bill Slowski says, hello, is the double point sale still going on? I think so. I just saw it today, and I'm annoyed with myself because I finally went and bought Lotro points so I could buy the packages, and then now it's double points. So I guess I could have waited, but oh well, whatever. Because I bought River Hobbits, but I haven't made a River Hobbit yet, so, you know, there's that. Anyway, so this is the ride up to the small, stately house. So check out how beautiful this is. Jolie Rondo says, in one neighborhood, one player bought both of those houses on Floodwind. So they're just going to have a conversation with themselves. Bill Slowski says, I need to buy River Hobbits this week. I can't, it's so funny, I haven't made a River Hobbit yet, and I don't know why I'm waiting. It's like, it's almost like I'm waiting for something. Half tempted to wait for Mariner. Half tempted to wait until like there's a group of people that are going to level with River Hobbits together, but I'm so busy with my main, like I don't have time to do another one. So, oh, this is the second best route, walk up. There's the other one, I think. Anyway, this is my other house. So this is the small, stately Smile. So I did spend some time decorating here. I've got my little elder helper. Let's get a little helper hat. Bill Slowski says, I need to get back into Lotro. Well, the River Hobbits are super cute. I do like them. And I'm getting more and more used to the way they look, you know, because at first I was like, ooh, that's not what I was expecting, but I'm getting more and more used to them. So, yeah, so I've decorated around here a little bit. It's not very cohesive yet. It's kind of all over the place, but one of the neat things they added with this expansion or new housing is the doormats. You have more flexibility with doormats, first of all. Secondly, you can move them. So, the doormat spot is there, but you can see I've moved it out away from the house a little bit. So that just makes getting into the house, getting around that so much easier. I don't think it has been backwards ported to other houses yet. I know that's something that Scenario was going to work on. I'm not sure where that stands yet. Okay, so I did spend some time decorating here. I better make sure I have enough of these. I mean, we're going to hit the festival at some point. The wallpaper is probably my favorite wallpaper in the whole game, and it is the Summer Fest wall. So there's also like summertime or summer days or I don't know, summer nights, whatever it is. That's not the one I want. Summer Fest is the one that I like a lot. And then what you could do is you can add different paint colors, and then it has a whole different looks. Like this one's got kind of a pink thing going on. And here I did like a purple. Look how dark that makes it. It's so different. Over here I did a green. And then I did some orange lighting in here. Not certain about the orange lighting. Well, the lighting I'm still struggling with. And then this is the giant hallway. And yeah, in my fire pit spot, I put a river folk chair because, you know, why not? 2 actually. So people have been talking about the river folk furniture and how it's smaller than the standard Hobbit furniture, which I find really ironic given the fact that the river hobbits tend to be taller than your standard hobbits are. So, and I can illustrate this if I can remember how to walk let me do a sit command. Too far away, what? Too far away from what? I don't want to sit on the wall. Okay, there we go. So notice, because it creates a chair for you to sit on. It kind of replaces the one that was standing there. So that's the original size, and this is the size it put me on. So you can see the difference. Let me get rid of all the other stuff. So you can really see there is a huge size difference between the decoration item they gave us and what it looks like when you actually sit on one. So I find that really interesting that the furniture is quite small. I don't know why they did that, given that river hobbits are taller. So I don't know. Aaron Bard says the run animation is peculiar on river hobbits. Reminds me of the bug jar dance. Oh dear. But I love the improvement on the riding animation. Yeah, see, I did not want to spoil myself on the river hobbits little storyline thing that they've got going on, their opening. So I haven't done a river hobbit at all yet. I was considering doing one on the stream actually, but I think I won't in case I don't want to spoil anybody. And honestly, I talk about housing so long, 2 hours is gonna go by so fast that I won't have time to do a river hobbit anyway. So anyway, Aaron Bart says, I wish they could make the riding animation available to standard hobbits. Oh, that'd be cool. Well, that's good to know that there's some neat stuff. The story is very sweet. Aw. Okay, so yeah, so this house I did a little bit more with. Let's see, this one I did kind of old flooring, looking like kind of ruined flooring, because I was thinking this will be my storage room. And then given that this is kind of like the grand hall, this is where all the meeting and eating will take place once I put tables and stuff in here. And then a lot of the other floors, I've got this nicer wooden floor. This one I didn't actually do yet. I can't remember where I got this one from, but I got the wooden floors from, I think it was Yondershire, with the Yondershire rep. That's right, you just stand on those chairs. So then I got some more of that wood floor, and I put it through here. And then I did put some of the River Hobbit furniture down. So this is what it looks like just itself. I haven't put any other furniture like nearby with it. So we've got the river hearth, the river folk hearth. Apparently you can light it up. They've got these cute little tapestries, which have a bunch of trees and stuff on it. Very cute. I'm definitely digging those. Oh, look at that, a little fire on the hearth. That's excellent. So really pretty with the vines and everything. That's definitely something I like the look of. And again, we've got that going on here with the hearth, with the vines. And I do like all the little knickknacks and things on the hearth. We got another one of those tapestries over here. They came with a little ancestors portraits, so I put that on the wall. And then, yeah, and then there's the bed, which again, is a little small for me. And I'm just the standard size Hobbit. So, yeah. Yeah, Aaron Bird says the beds are a bit of a squeeze, even for a Hobbit. So, but in this big room, there's plenty of room for teeny furniture. Okay, so remember how there was like little alcoves? Well, this one, I go down here, and you'll notice the map kind of opens up. And this is on a small, so this isn't the same as the deluxe. Sorry, not the little alcoves. So this is the same outline as a small in the upper part, but down here we run into this. I put a wall up, and it's that same wallpaper. So, and I didn't put any wallpaper coloring on my wall, so that way it all matches, so it looks all the same. But this wall is an item. I put the wall there, and I also put this waterfall here because you can, and then the idea is that you can come around here and take a look if you want to, and you can see what's going on back there. And I don't know, can you jump up on the, I don't think you can jump up on it. But basically, there's a cave back there. And I don't know what I was thinking. I bought the house. I don't like scary things. And I'm like, well, phooey, I bought the house with the scary cave. But now I put a wall in front of it, and I put a waterfall in front of it, and now it's kind of like a little hidden feature, and I'm okay with it. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about any goblins anytime soon, so that's good. So there we go. So that's the hidden features that you find in the small stately. And there's only one of those in each neighborhood. So, and then let me see about where we are. So let's see, we're up here. Well, you know, we'll take that ride back down. Oh, you can see I've got the 3-post fence back up again over here. I really like that fence. Oh, and I did put a stables, midsummer stables out here as well. So yeah, so you kind of go uphill just a little bit. Let me zoom in. Is that too close? Is that too much? We're probably okay. And then there's this bridge. Actually, I think this is the one I was thinking of, because you've got this crazy waterfall. Where's the water? Maybe not. Anyway, you've got a bridge there. And then you go through these purple flowers, which I like that. And then you start kind of descending. Oh, here's the waterfall. And then you come to this little bridge, and then there's a waterfall. And I feel like you could fish here probably. So there's some water coming from there, and then it goes off the edge over there, which you can fall down. I've done that. You end up like over on these people's house, I think. Let's see. I can't remember. Let's find out. You can fish. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Am I on a burglar? Nope, I'm not. That's okay. This will be fine, right? Ooh, that might not be fine. That was not fine. Let's find out where I end up. That's funny. It sent me out to here, which, yeah. We're not there on this server. So where's it sending me now? Bree! Oh, I'm in Archet. Back to your starter zone, lady. That's hilarious. Oh, before I forget, let's pop over to the festival. Oh, I'm set to Thor's Comb. Bother. I got talked into resetting my... hang on. Hobbit and Bywater. To resetting my milestone, not milestone, my campsite fire, my hunter site fire campsite to Thor's Comb, because we were trying to help somebody get the Dragox lair unlock. Yeah, that was fun. So it's one of those where you got to pop down, do the thing, pop back up, pop back down, do a thing, pop back up, and then you pop back down, you're done. So it's just really convenient if you have a captain who can call people up there, who just stays there and waits for everybody. Or if you have a hunter who can just tootle along with you and then pop you the whole group back up. It's more convenient that way. Yes, Dragok is drag great. Drag great. Drag it. Yeah. Just doesn't track. All right, but before I forget, I wanted to get myself back over here and talk to who has the wallpaper? The quartermaster? I think the quartermaster does.
Good day.
Yep, quartermaster has the wallpapers. And I think the one I want is on page 2. Summerfest. Summerfest wall. All right, let me get a bunch of these. Actually, do I have, let me grab my other bag. Let me see if I have room in there, because they'll stack. They stack inside the bag, which is nice. Let me see if I have room. No, I don't. What can I take out? Oh, I was going to use that dark green grass floor. I forgot about that. Okay, let's put that in there. And put you on auto. Awesome. Okay, so I've got, what, I get 3? So let's get some more. So, Summerfest, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you know what? Maybe I'll grab one of these decorative walls while I'm here. Apparently it's a dwarf one. But Summerfest is just beautiful with those trees. I love it. Okay, so what I have in that space, I think is not the tallest. I think it's the 10 meter long. Oh, maybe it's the 20 meter long, but it's not the tall one. So yeah, it's either the decorative wall 10 meter or decorative wall 20 meter, but it's not the tall version of either one of those. So you know what? I have a lot of coins, so I'm going to go ahead and buy one of each of these just to have it handy. Because when this festival's over, I don't have access to those walls again or that wallpaper until the next year it comes around, you know? So I want to grab as much of that now as I can, because you may have noticed there's a lot of walls. I think I went through 10 of those over on the other server. So it's crazy cakes. Okay, so that's the Summerfest wallpaper and a couple of spare walls. Because, you know, the important things here. Okay, so those were my 2 houses here. Let me pop over to, well, or do I go back to, hang on, let me go back to my house here real quick. And I'll show you the, because I don't know who owns it here though. But I didn't ask the folks who own it, the houses over on Laurelin, if I could show off their houses. So I don't want to like, because some of these houses are empty and then it's no big deal to show you. All right, because I want to show you the house way the heck out there on Glenmouth Path. So let me pop out there. Okay, so that's the other thing is I'm slowly getting used to how to get around this neighborhood. So this is that floodwind, floodside road, and that's 4 and 3, those 2 that I really like. And then you come by here, and there's a bridge, but we don't want to take that bridge because that takes us to Broadmead Lane, which has 2 premium houses, 2 of the deluxes. There's one there, and then, oh no, sorry, that's Floodside Road, that's the backside of it. But there's 2 up above, but we don't want to go there. But that's a way to get to 2 more deluxe houses. Well, now I thought about buying one of those too, because you can actually just drop down and then run across that other person's yard if you want to get to the center of town, which I thought could give away. This is where you get to one of the other Smials, and then just down the road here is the other Smial. So those are the 4 Smials. Oh, I like the trees. Good call. Oh, I may have to get one of those. Shire oak trees, eh? Maybe I'll make a note here real quick. Hang on. Yeah, let me write it over here. I've got little sticky notes with my to-do list these right now because I got a lot of stuff going on. Shire oak. Speaking of a lot going on, I will not be here next week. And in fact, as it turns out, B4 and I, who both stream on Tuesdays usually here, are going to be gone, or we're going to be not streaming. For the rest of September. We have a lot of things going on. We've got visitors, stuff and things. So we are, ironically, so most of Europe, we live in Europe, most of Europe tends to take like August off. And so as people come back together in September, because we're starting to see people again now from, you know, for various things that we're doing, like our Dutch language group and stuff like that. And they're like, so what did everybody do for this, for vacation over the summer? And we're like, we didn't go anywhere, but we're really busy in September with, visitors and visiting places and things like that. So, yeah, so it's kind of funny that we're like kind of the opposite of your standard normal Europeans. We don't take August off, but apparently we're doing September this year. So, you know what though? It's a little cooler in September. Things are a little cheaper. Okay, so I'm gonna go across this bridge here, and we're gonna go up this long path up Glenmouth Path. So we come across, we pass by the little house, and then we're gonna go up this long path. So that's the other thing, is I don't like how the two fancy houses are so far removed, even though it is a beautiful ride. Like, this is absolutely lovely. I mean, really, and it's got this lovely little music going on in the background. It's quite gorgeous. It's true. And then we do the same thing as like that other one, where you come up and then you come back down. And then now we come across the house. And this is the deluxe version of the stately. So you've got the small stately and you've got the deluxe stately, one of each of those. So this is the deluxe one. So I've seen a number of people are taking those round reed boats that you could get a couple festivals ago and placing them here in the river. I'm like, that is perfect. I love it. So then this one, it's got a waterfall that falls off the side there. This house is quite gorgeous. I do like this house a lot. So you've got, again, a ridiculously huge yard. This one, is this the one where, no, wait, maybe? No, it must be my house. Okay, we'll go back to my house in a minute. I will show you something else. But okay, so this one has two doors. So you've got that fork in the road. So you've got a door there and you've got a door there. And so you've got options on which one you go in. So for example, I know one person who's basically the one with all the lights and all the stuff going on there. They're turning that side into an inn. And they've done the smaller side that kind of reaches across. They're turning that side like into their house. I'm like, that's so clever. So you would like come in the one door. Wonder if I have permission to go in. We'll find out here in a second. Oh, I do not. Oh, that's sad. Oh well. We could probably find one to go visit. Let me hop back down. Let's go back to my house. That's right by the center of town, because that's so cool. So festival is on. Just as a reminder, we have it's currently the Farmers Faire. And a couple years ago, they combined the summer festival and the Farmers Faire together as one. So anything you were looking for decoration-wise that was available from one or the other is all combined into this festival. Like this large fire pit, you can get that right now in the festival. Another thing is, if you are looking at decorations and you're like, how does that fit in a house, or what does that look like? I want to see it before I buy it, right? You can go to Deco de Milieu, which is a cool website made by a fan of the game. And let's see, is it listed there? It's not. They have everything listed out, every single like housing item that you can get in the game. They go and they get it, and then they take pictures of it and they post it on the website, and it's pretty neat. Hang on, I have that link. I thought I had a quick way to grab that link. Let me do a quick search. Deco, take me there. How am I not seeing it? Sorry. I thought it'd be easy to find this. Okay, fine. Just go to the interwebs. I have it on a spreadsheet thingy, but I know I can't find it. No worries. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, thanks, Mr. Rosh. Beat me to it. I appreciate that. helps when you're not multitasking, right? Blah, 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 do all the things. Okay, so I'm looking at this housing broker here, and she will show me the houses that are available for sale. So, for example, the kinships are the ones listed here, and you can only have one kinship house. So, for example, our kinship here on Treebeard, our main kin, has a kinship house over in the Shire Homesteads. And then we all bought houses in that neighborhood, so we can just bop back around and take things out of each other's chests and whatnot. So we decided to go ahead and leave that and not get a kinship house, because we would have to give up our kinship house, which was really kind of a bummer. But I'll show you the kinship house real quick. We'll go tour that house. I'm gonna have a bite. I'm gonna mute for a second. I took a big bite. We were waiting on some food to arrive, and I thought it was going to arrive before my stream. But it was like 5 minutes before my stream, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll shovel some food real quick, and then, you know, I'll eat after the stream. But this is the kinship one, and look, check out, isn't that just gorgeous? Like, you've got a little water wheel going on over there. You've got this river and the waterfall happening there, but I mean, look how big this place is. You've got, let me come over here to the fence. You've got like one there, one there, one up there. I mean, it's crazy huge. So neat. And which doors could you actually go in? You can go in the one down there. Doesn't look like you can go in here, but then I guess you can go in up here. Okay. That's so crazy. I stepped into a kin house one time, probably on Bull Roar, and I was like, okay, I'm lost. I cannot figure this out. So this is the house, like, on the radar. It's insane. Aaron Bard says it is the size of Tuckborough, which I think is fair. I mean, I like the idea that they've done that. I mean, I would love for our kinship on Laurelin to have gotten one of these, because I just think that'd be so cool. Because it's definitely, like, the kind of place where we would gather, and there'd be so much to do in these houses. Like, I love the little cute sitting area. Oh yeah, this is the room, the downstairs when you could come in that other door. So we've got like another room here. I mean, there's probably a fire pit in that room, or maybe there's a fire pit in this room. And then there's a door over there. That's how you get in and out that other door. And then another big room here, and another room. Oh, and there's how you can go back up again. Another room with, oh, there's another door. So there's 2 doors down here and 1 door up above. Wow. Crazy cakes. Yeah, you could make your own brandy hall, says Aaron Bard. No kidding. I mean, look at this. Gadunk, 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 gadunk. Like, oh my gosh, it goes on forever. This house. This house. Okay, let's go back up. Before it says, since characters can have both a basic and as many premium houses as they want, I wish a kinship could have a basic kinship house and a premium kinship house. Me too. And actually, I think Scenario is on board with that idea. Scenario is one of the SSG employees who is very much involved with the housing and creating housing and putting in requests to like the engineering team to be like, can we do this with housing and things like that. So I think he has said that that is like a request that he wants to see. I just don't know from a, technology perspective if we'll ever get it. I really, 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 really hope so though. I know that's something he would like to see also because yeah, you've got this gorgeous house sitting here empty. Like that'd be so neat to be able to take that on, right? Yeah, Skogsy says, I would get so lost in that house. Tell me about it. Like, we almost need arrows pointing the way to get around here, right? Oh, I was going to show you, I think it's on this server. Let me go to my other house. Not the One Well Forth, but Stonegate. Let me go to Stonegate Path real quick. That's the stately small smile. Or small, stately small small. Yeah, I'm already lost in this house. That's why I'm porting myself out. I'm very grateful for the ability to travel by that. I think, was it this house or was it the one on one of the ones on Laurelin? I think it's this house. Let me check. Let me get stuck on the furniture. I do that sometimes. Yes, this one has these insane views. I mean, look at that. So this is the one with the creepy. Oops, don't fall off the edge. With the creepy cave in the house. But dude, those views are so cool. And there's actually a couple of housing slots, decoration slots out here. So you can do some decorating. So I did put a gazebo out here because a friend of mine did this on another server, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I like that. I couldn't find the gazebo they had. I don't know which one they had, but I got this gazebo, and I was like, okay, this will work. But yeah, I think you can push yourself off of there. So you want to be careful. Anyway, so I just thought that was fun to put a gazebo like right on the precipice of, falling off. It's like, yeah, you can hang out in the gazebo, but don't go too far. Aaron Bard says some pronounce it smile. So yes, I have a small smile. Like that just. Aaron Bard said it was the views that sold me on that house. Yeah, it is pretty gorgeous up here. It is pretty awesome. All right. So then I was going to pop over to... Okay, so let me go ahead and swap over to the other server. So it might take a second. Tell you what, I'm going to take a quick bite while we do that. So yes, just kind of make a note to yourself that Before and myself will not be streaming basically the rest of September. Just come back October 3rd. We'll be back October 3rd. Now there's another guy who streams on Tuesdays now, more like evening time, U.S. time, and he's doing a thing with like started a new character and is working his way forward from there. I forgot the name of it's a cute name too, the stream name. So okay, yeah. Do I want to do Rose and Bloom? Yes, let's do Rose and Bloom. Aw, Aaron Bard says I shall miss your cheerful commentaries. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it'll be it's gonna be a pretty chaotic time, so it's probably good that we're not trying to also stream in the middle of everything. We've got some Dutch tests we're taking, and we've got family visiting from the U.S., and yeah, it's gonna be busy. Yeah, stuff and things. But it'll be good. It'll be good. Oh, I was gonna say. Oh, I don't know if Sandy is here. I haven't seen her. I've made some progress on some of my knitting and stuff. So okay, so on Laurelin, then I went and bought 2 houses in 2 different neighborhoods. So yes, do pace yourselves. Yes, thank you, Aaron Bard. Sorry, there we go. Before I just posted it. Mei Lung has joined the server team, the stream team, and their stream is at 9 p.m. server time. That's U.S. Eastern time then. Join them for adventuring back to Rohan, as they adventure with a new high elf brawler. Yes, Aaron Bard asks, how is that shirt you were making? How's that going? We are getting close. We are so close. So it is right here. So these are the little sleeves, little cap sleeves there. They keep rolling over, but when I wash it and pin it down, I'll bet I'll be able to kind of talk them into laying down better in the future. So anyway, so there it is. Let me move it back a little bit. And then all the way to the bottom, we are getting really close. So if you have like, so here's the armholes, and then this is the body all the way to here. So you can see the length on it. They suggest doing like, I think it was 16.5 inches from there to the bottom. So I've got like 2.5 inches left to go, maybe 1.5 inches left to go. And I was thinking, at one point I was like, well, I'll just go until my yarn runs out. And then I was like, well, I think there'll be too much yarn. So I'll just go until I get to the right length. And now I'm like, well, maybe I'll just go until the yarn runs out because this is what I have left. So I think it's going to come out to be just about the right amount of yarn for the project. So I'm pretty happy about it. I'm hoping to have it done before Friday would be neat because I'm seeing some other knitting people, and then I can show it to them because they've been, I started it with them, okay, basically. And then it'd be really neat to have it done by next week because I'm going to see friends from the US then, and that would be cool to be able to wear it then. So thank you very much for asking. And then, I've kind of started, so I have a bicycle. I have a new, it's not showing up. Hang on. I'm looking at myself on the stream, but you're not. Let me figure out what's going on there. Let me close that. I was holding on to the old one. So let's see. There we go. Now you can hang out with me here. So I have a new bicycle. It has 3 wheels instead of just 2 because my balance problems were just not getting any better. So that's been really handy to ride around. I'm still getting used to it. It has a weird balance in itself, but I'm getting used to it. And it has like a basket in the front, and then it has a big basket in the back. And so I'm trying to decorate these various things. So, yeah. So I've started crocheting some stuff, and anyway, that's a whole project unto itself. What I've showed you just now is knitting, and then that's a crochet project. I crochet a lot faster than I knit. The knitting project takes me a lot longer. So hang on, I'm gonna check out I'm gonna fix this. See if I can, I can't raise it? Oh, that's disappointing. I was hoping to kind of pull it up out of the grass a little bit. It is kind of like getting, oh well. I was hoping I could elevate it because yeah, it looks like the grass is like taking over. It's kind of funny. Oh well. Okay, let's turn that off. So remember how I was saying how I love those 2 little houses that are right across from each other? So this was the very first house that I bought in Lyndelby. So that way I can be right across the street from my friend, and we have matching fences that match the fence in the road. And check out, I love the way she's done this with the 2 giant, with the big glass houses. Pop over here. Check that out, like with the gardening houses. So she's got a big one and a little one next to each other. Like, it looks so good. I really like that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so this is, let me put my fast feet on. So this is my house, and this is a small without a creepy background, without a creepy cape. So this is what a small looks like on the inside. And, oh yeah. So here's the funny thing. You were asking about the fire pit earlier. So yes, I have a fire pit. Oh, I don't have any lights in here. I gotta buy some lighting. I haven't done that yet. Okay, but I went ahead and got the Leyden decorated banquet table. I thought I did have lighting in here. Oh, I might be getting my houses mixed up. So this is the one that looks like a giant table, like it goes on forever. It does have a gap in the middle though, which is nice if you want to run around and see your friends on the other side. And it has food on the table. So I like this one. What I've done with this, I have one of these on Evernight, and all the other little furniture hooks that are nearby, I've used those to bring things like the pastries. Like the pastry tower is actually coming from like a housing hook over here. And so, you know, you can raise it, and then I've set it on the table. So this is a really cool way to use a lot of those decorations that you can get like during the Midsummer Festival and put it on a table so it looks like, you know, there's food for eating and there's plates everywhere, and that's really cool. Oh, Bill Salsky, you knit and crochet also. That's awesome. Aaron Bard asks, where do you get that table? So it is a fire pit decoration. So you can get it from any of the Rohan decoration people. I think I actually got it, let's see. I got it from Rohan, from one of the Rohan decorators. They sell the fire pit category of items. And so there's a couple of options. So there's actual fire pits, like, you know, you got the fire going. That's cool. And you can get versions that like are just fire all the way down, or you can get some that are like little pockets of fire. You know what? Let's just go do it. Let's go look at some. Let me grab some. So oh, not that one. I need to go to my housing panel. I have a few houses on this server. I'm really bad. I can't help myself. Okay, so let's go to Rohan. And we'll go to the housing broker, because I'm pretty sure she's the one that sells the fire pit stuff. So anyway, so I got this one because I like the idea of it having food on it. They have another one that is empty in the sense that it has plates, but there's no food on there. And so that one was not as attractive to me, but it doesn't have the horse heads on it, whereas that one we just saw did. And I don't really like the horse heads. I mean, it's very like, oops, I went the wrong way. I like, the horse heads are very Rohirric, right? And it doesn't feel very Lyndelby to me. Okay. I could have sworn I could just fall down from there, but maybe not. Maybe that's on the other server. I try to pick a house where I can just fall down and end up in the center of town. Epic Games TV says, wow, that's a cool eating area. I saw the one River Hobbit house has a fire pit. Yes, so all the River Hobbit Lyndelby houses, all the premium houses, have a fire pit hook. So you can get these fire pits, and let's browse the shop.
Hello, friend.
And let's
Can
see, we
I
want,
help you with something?
what is it, structural? No, those are walls. Paints and surfaces? Probably not. But let's see. It has palisades, that came up earlier. Nope, it has the pillars. Furniture? Okay. Yes. So we have the empty banquet table. There's the empty decorated banquet table. All right, so let's just get one of each of these. There's the decorative fire pit. Yeah, so let me scoot that up out of the way. Okay, so we'll get one of those. We'll get an empty banquet table. We'll get an empty decorated banquet table. The laden banquet table, which is not the same as the laden decorated banquet table, which is one I have. There's a long fire pit, long roasting pit, simple long fire pits, and I think that's it for the fire pits. Okay, so we've got one of each of all the different kinds of fire pits. So let's go back to my house. Actually, which house do I want to go to? We were just at the little one. Let's go to the bigger one. So let's go to 1 Wellforth Way, because I don't think I've decorated that one at all. So I got 1 Wellforth Way on this server also, because that's the one where you turn around and you just go down and you run into the center of town, because I just love that location. And it's a deluxe house, which makes me happy because I wanted a deluxe house. It's got this waterfall happening right here, which means I've got my own little river going by here, going right there. So we've got the river, we've got the waterfall, we've got great views from here as well. They just did such a good job on this whole neighborhood though. Like the whole neighborhood has great views, really. And then yeah, boom, right there, back to the center of town. So I think 1 Wellforth Way is my favorite location in this neighborhood. So, and then you've got the 2 doors. I got a door there and I've got a door there. I went ahead and put out a homestead stable here because the yards are just so massive. Like this windmill just looks like it barely is the right size for this. Like all these huge decoration items are so big. So yeah, my plan is to work on getting like probably a bunch of animal things in the yard here. So that's kind of where I'm working on it. But anyway, so we're not there yet. But I'm gonna pop in here. And then, did I do wallpaper? I guess not. Not so much. Oh, okay. So, what I did on this one, I might not want to undo this. I might go the other one. This is the fire pit spot in this house. And I think there's only one. We'll double check though. We'll check the other rooms. And I used the furniture slots that were nearby also, and kind of created like a decoration space where it's all table. Let's see, I kind of want to rotate that table though. Which one is this? Yeah, let's rotate you. I decided I don't like it long. We'll do it like this. That way you can grab food from the table behind you. And rotate you back a little bit. There we go. And yeah, that's fine. Okay. So yeah, so what I did, and I mean, no, there's no chairs. We're just all gonna stand. Is I went ahead and created like kind of a long table using a bunch of the breakfast tables and stuff. The food will show back up in a minute. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's a little buggy in here, but it's okay. Okay. Oh, so that's a door. I went the wrong way. Okay. So there's my fire pit there. So what happens if I go over here? Do I have another one? Oh, I did do I'm kind of creating like a winter room here. And then this just goes down and you've got these little alcoves. You don't have that scary wall, scary empty wall space. Okay, so no fire pits so far. It might just be the one. Okay, we're back to where we started. Okay, so I think it's just one fire pit spot in each house. Definitely in this house. And this is the deluxe, a deluxe house. So let me go over to my house on Ridge Road then. Wait, no. Floodside Road. I'm gonna go to my house on Floodside Road. And we'll mess up that fire pit space. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. So I do like the idea of having like a whole bunch of tables, you know, just lined up with food. I haven't quite decided how I like it. Like it's too monotonous, that one is. So at some point I'll mix up a little bit. So I've started putting some of my animals over here. I got my boar fountain, which I think is hilarious. This yard is still huge. And this is a small house. I'm like, wow, that's insane. Anyway, we got a little place where you can stop and have a little bite to eat before you head on in. Very important. Very important if you're a Hobbit. Oh yeah, and then I've got this table here, so you can have a bite to eat before you go into the big table. Okay, so the laden decorated banquet table is what we have in there right now. So let me swap that out for the version that's, I've got a little nap, sorry. That's the laden banquet table, but not the laden, yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? So what I have right now is the laden decorated, and so this is just the laden, but not decorated. So you see there's no food on it. I was like, well, okay, there's sticks of bread. But that's, I mean, you know what I mean? So that's not quite as good. Like, I figure if I'm gonna have stuff, I need to have more food, but let me scooch down here. For example, like, there's, you know, some legs of lamb or something. Whereas if you do this version, it's just the bread and the empty plates. So that, I mean, if I'm gonna go with one of those, the laden decorated banquet table looks right. Epic Games TV asks, so the fire pit puts multiple down? No, what it's doing is that entire thing is one item. So let me show you a different version. Let's see, here's the empty. So no plates, no food, no bread, but we still have the horse heads. So again, not my favorite. Just the straight up empty, no horses. So this might be a winner. And then I just put my own food on it. Or we go with the fire pit thing. So like, what's a good example to show you? Okay, here's a good example to show you, Epic Games TV. So this is one furniture item the whole way down. Do you see how it's all one thing? how it starts there and it goes all the way along and there's no breaks in it because it is one single furniture item. So yeah, this is not my favorite. This one is so big and it just takes up so much space. I mean, it's good in a Rohan meat hall maybe, but not this one. Oh, let me start with that again. So this is the version that is called the long roasting pit. Let me get to the other side of it so we can see the whole thing. Sorry, a little wonky there. So it looks like this has roast food on it, roast meats, but no break. And the thing is, it's just so big in this room, which is hilarious because this room is huge. So it's just kind of funny. Okay, so we've looked at this is the decorative fire pit. So I like this one because it has breaks and you can go around, but there's no tables, like there's no food happening here, right? So it would be if we wanted to have something, and also I'm not so sure about that. Now, fun thing, let me scooch out of the way. I think I can scoot it up and down. Like, yeah, I can move it over. There we go, just send it to the next room. We could have it like half burning the walls. That's a wild idea, right? And then you can also move it back and forth this way, so I could shove it into that room. So that's funny. And then I think I can lift it up and down. Yeah, so like I could raise it up and we could just walk underneath it. That's funny. I could bury it, so we just have like these things. And then the whole middle space is empty, so we just have like a fire here and a fire at the other end. So, I mean, there's some options there. Okay, so that's one of the fire. Let's look at the other fire pits. Let me move these down together. What's this one? That's the empty banquet table. Yeah, Aaron Bard says, why are the food tables always so messy? Spilled cups, half-eaten food, even in a respectable inn like the Pony. I do wish there was a fire pit table that was like as if it was just prepared. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you've just set the food down and people haven't eaten yet. Like, that would be neat. I think that would be nice. Yeah, Epic Games TV, to burn your house down, right? In my house, the fire pit is a bigger room, but I made it into a crafting hall area, right? And that's another option, is just totally don't even do the fire pit thing, you know, just put something else in that spot like I did in the other house, but I still put tables in there because I couldn't help myself. Okay, so this is fire pit. This is long fire pit, so no breaks. This is long roasting pit, and this is simple, what is it? Simple long fire pits. So if I was gonna go with fire and not table, like these would probably be my best. Let me go ahead and close that. Like, I think these are the best if you're just gonna go with fire, right? If you just wanna have like, if you're like, okay, it's winter time, we need some place warm, let's get some fire pits going, you know, that's an option. I wonder, I can't go through the fire pit. Oh, that makes it even more complicated to get in the other room. Seriously? How funny. Okay, let me just go around the fire pit. But, I don't know, maybe I could like shove it into this room. The idea that you can't go through it. Let me yell at this thing. Yeah, how would a hobbit even lift those logs? Holy macaroni, right? Like, what in the world? So this is why, as you may have figured out, I have decided to do one of the tables for now. So we have, instead of a fire pit, because the fire pit just, it doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't quite do it for me in here. So then our options are so for me, my two favorites are the laden, oh, I gotta pick it, sorry. The laden decorated table, because it's got some food on it. Yes, it has dirty dishes, but it's got some food going on. So there's that. Not the empty decorated, because I don't want the horses' heads. And not the laden table, because it looks like it's got dirty dishes still. I mean, yeah, I just don't like the dirty dishes. So I think the empty banquet table is actually my most likely to go with. I'm just looking at that, and I'm wondering if I should shrink it down into the ground a little bit. Oh, the other way. Like, what if I did that? That makes it at least look a little more Hobbit size, right? Maybe one more? Yeah? Yeah. Maybe we'll try that. All right. That actually looks halfway decent for a Hobbit. Now that I'm looking at it. Why am I able to run through it? Okay, there we go. Shouldn't be able to run through a table. So I might do that and then just decorate it with all the various food things that I have. But I don't, like, there's only so many hooks in here. I don't know if you noticed. There's one for moving around, like the wall stuff stays on the wall, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 additional hooks in this room that I could use to put food on the tables. Honestly, I'm more likely to just go with the other table. To go with no table, is what I mean. Like, this is cute. This is a good start. We'll leave it for now. 007 Goofy says the dirty dishes look great. It feels more true to life. True, but if I'm hosting a Hobbit party and people are coming in for the party, I don't want the house to already be a mess. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather the house look a little nicer than that to start, you know. So let me go back to Wellforth Way and show you what I think I'm most likely to do, you know, in general in the future. Did the breakfast table work? You talking about the, like the crafted breakfast table? You're like this one? I like the crafted breakfast table. Yeah. So like this one looks good in that space. So I'll show you. I'll go back in here. Yeah. 007 Goofy says, it would be cool if you could say versions of the house or the room, right? Wouldn't it be cool? Yeah, if like when they walk in, they get the table that's like empty, or there's, you know, and then it turns into the table with food or whatever, and then it turns into the table with food and dirty dishes and yeah, all that sort of thing. Oh, my food didn't show back up, little turkey. So this is what I have in here right now. Ah, there we go. And I've done the same thing where there's kind of a break in the middle and stuff like that, but I'll probably redo this because in my mind I had that long table row in my mind, and I thought that was cool, but the more I look at this, I mean, yes, that is a cool visual to just have like this long table of food, but from an actual Hobbit perspective, we're not going to be that separated, right? We're gonna clump ourselves together a little bit more. So really, it's more likely to be kind of like. So here's the other problem I have with the fire pit, is I want to touch this table. That is the table in my fire pit. But if I want to touch this table, it's like, you mean the fire pit? I'm like, no, I mean this table. It's like, you mean the fire pit? Like, no, I want to touch this table that I've shoved into the fire pit spot. So I have to find which hook it is that I attached it to. That's not that one. It's not that one. You know what I mean? So that's, I wish the fire pit hook for grabbing was a little smaller, or distinct, so I could get around it and grab the other things that are in that zone, but aren't actually the fire pit, you know? Yeah, so there's that. I think, well, maybe, you know what, let me put that back in the middle. No. Why don't you go back over there? Epic Games asks, does this have the waterfall basement? I can't remember now. I do have a house that has it, but I think it was on the other server, wasn't it? What do I have here? I have a small, and a deluxe small. So no, I don't have the one with the waterfall basement. That is the... Here we go, doing it again. Yeah, maybe just pull up the wiki again. The wiki is very helpful for all the correct words. So, yes, the deluxe version of this one. Oh, 2 parallel lines of tables. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Goofy. Yeah, I might try that. Okay, so for the houses that you have options here, you've got, there's the small, which has like 1 door and is smaller than this. You've got the deluxe, which is this. You've got stately versions, 1 stately version of the small and 1 stately version of the deluxe. The stately version of the small has the scary cave. The stately version of the deluxe has the waterfall and the pool in the back, and it's beautiful. Epic Games says, I have no idea how to decorate that outdoor basement area. You know, we come back to this. Let me see if we can sneaky our way over to the one in this neighborhood. All right, so where are we? We are in a Wellforth Way. Was it in this neighborhood or is it in the other one? And I want to go to Glenmouth, which is way the heck up here. Okay. No, I do want to get my pony, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so let's ride into town. Done. Epic Games says, I originally thought crafting area, but I didn't like it. Well, fair enough. 007 asks, is it possible to still snag lifetime subscriptions accounts from people? I don't know. If that was possible, I would love to do that, but I don't know, maybe you can get it in somebody's will or something. I wish I could get a lifetime subscription. That'd be cool. There's something else. There's a channel or a streaming kind of service that we watch called, oops, I just went the wrong way. That's not the name of the service. Like, I just actually went the wrong way. Called Nebula, and they have like some cool videos on there. It's a lot of it's the same videos you get on YouTube, but the money goes to the creators, and I like that. Okay, I really want to get across this river, but without killing myself. Is that possible? Anyway, they're doing a lifetime subscription, and I think my FOMO from my missing out on getting a lifetime subscription from Lotro is coming into play with that, and I'm like, oh, we should totally get that because I don't want to miss out on the opportunity of getting a lifetime subscription to something and be like, 15 years from now, as Lotro is 16 years now, being like, man, I wish I had done that 16 years ago. So, yeah. Aaron Bard says, I made a naturescape in the cave. Storyteller says, do a medieval version of the Batman cave. That's a cool idea. Okay, so let's come down here. Did I go to the right house? Yeah. Oh, it's a Skilly's house. Okay, we'll find out. So again, that's where I've seen people put the little reed raft in, and that's so clever, so cute. So this is the deluxe version that's the stately, the special one. Let's see if we're allowed to come in or not. Oh, looks like we are. Hooray! So if you go down and then down and down, boom, there's the waterfall. Isn't that just so cool? Just gorgeous. So this is inside your house, and you've got so you've got 2 doors to get in here as well. Well, I guess more than 2, but this one and this one are the same room basically, and then you've kind of got like this pseudo divider here, and then you've got this one and this one to come through. So somebody I know got a wall and put a divider here. So basically you or maybe it was here. Anyway, she divided it somewhere here. Or they did. And, oh, I like the wallpaper. Oh, look at that little spotlight. Oh, that's cute. So basically you would come down the ramp and you're funneled into the spot. But then there's a wall here somewhere. There was a wall. So it was it looked like you were just here, and then they'd be like, oh, look, there's some water, and it looks like the water continues, but there was just a wall there, so it looked like it was a separate area. And so if you wanted to get to the other side, you could come in here and go swimming. Oh, there's the raft. Oh, nice. That's a good choice. I like it there. So that's something you could do. Epic Games. You were looking to try and figure out what to do. So that's a thought, is you could like add some walls and stuff and kind of divide it into separate rooms and do different things maybe with that. I don't know. Epic Games says, out of the 3 games that you did Lifetime back in the day, Lotro was the keeper. Yeah. Goofy asks, does this game work on Mac or PC only? And Storyteller says, I think it works on Mac. Yeah. Aaron Bard points out that Mac is no longer supported. But yeah, I do know that Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor, he streams on here on Fridays. Oh, the coat rack. I gotta figure out where mine is. And he plays on Mac. And so I do know that it's possible. I think he uses some sort of an emulator or something. He knows more about it, and so does Druid's Fire. Druid's Fire knows what he does to make that happen. So yeah, so that'd be somebody you could check. Let's see. And Druid's Fire streams here on Fridays later, and Tolkien Professor. So the schedule right now on Fridays, is the Friday schedule up? Or I think it just tells me. On Fridays, so Agent Brigman is on from 10 to noon Eastern Time. I think it's 10 to noon. It's either 10 to noon or 11 to noon, but I think it's 10. And then actual Lotro stream, so Cordovan, the SSG community manager, he is on here at noon Eastern Time on Fridays. And then after him, so starting, at 1 is Tolkien Professor, but he's always late. So just keep that in mind. And you haven't missed him, he's just not there yet. And then after he's done, he's usually on for like an hour or so. I forget what his actual schedule time is. But then after him is Druid's Fire. And then later on is Big Ed Mustafa. I think he's still on. Yeah, so. So those are the Friday folks. And so you can ask about streaming on Mac from either Signum U, which is the Tolkien Professor at 1 o'clock, or Druid's Fire, who's on after him. Both of those will know how to play Lotro on a Mac. Aaron Bard asks, which property was that waterfall again? This one that I'm at right now. This is 2 Glenmouth Path, which is the Stately Deluxe Smile. So it is, do I have a page? Yeah, Stately Deluxe. Ka-bunk. It's that one right there. So, and there's only one in the neighborhood. So it's this one at 2 Glenmouth Path, which is in the neighborhood located way over here at the tippy top. Now, if you look at that Lotro wiki page, you'll see that it has all of the external housing hooks laid out as well. So if you're like curious as to how to set that up on your house, what kind of hooks might be available if you were to purchase the house, that is all listed out there on the wiki. Thank you, B4. He and I did that work, and he did most of the work. So let's see. Am I traveling? I am traveling. Cool. Epic Games says most of them are sold already. Yeah, it's a very popular house. Like that one is a nice house. So I was gonna pop back down to the center of town. I just love this one, Wellforth Way. You could tell I love it so much. When I discovered it was available in another neighborhood that we were getting people that we knew in, I was like, oh, I'm totally grabbing that. So let's see, if we want to look at so when you go to a housing broker, they have all of the different houses listed out, the different categories are listed out that are available to purchase. And you can uncheck the ones you don't want to look at. So I don't want to look at the smalls or the kinships or the deluxe or the stately small. I just want to look at the stately deluxe. Yeah, and currently on this server, there is one. In the Gadless neighborhood, which currently has all of its houses, because there's only one kinship house in each neighborhood. There's one stately deluxe. There are 6 deluxe. There's one stately small, and there's 4 smalls. So that neighborhood is completely open at the moment. It's a brand new neighborhood, probably. So, Gadasmile, I'm not sure, asks, do you only play Lotro? No, I play Lotro a lot though. I would say it's definitely my primary game. Because I'm very engrossed in the characters, and also like I play with other people on like scheduled times, and that's really neat. Epic Games TV, as she quickly buys it. Ho, 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 ho. I'm not gonna go ahead and buy it. If you're on Laurelin, you can pop over there, and it is available to you right now. I won't touch it. So the other games, like I play a couple games on my phone. But like I really like the Battle for Polytopia, but I usually just play that with friends or against the AI. I don't like play against strangers usually on that. But then I recently got into, there's a beta of a new game, Palia or Palia, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but Palia, and it's very chill. And so one of the things I love about Lotro is like the design of it, the artwork. And like, I don't know, I love the way that Lotro just looks. Like I feel like I've stepped into a painting, and I just find that so beautiful. And it just brings me joy every time I'm running around in Lotro. And so Palia has a kind of similar, not the similar exact look, but it definitely has like, it's not cartoonish, but it's not realistic. It's kind of in the middle somewhere. And so I really like the style of it, and the way the world is laid out so far. It's pretty small, which is good because, you know, I'm still struggling to figure out how to get around and how to find the things I'm trying to find, and, you know, like still working out how to like move. Like it's a very simple game. It's an MMO, but there's not like questing in the sense of like go defeat Sauron. It's more like go fish. You know, figure out how to plant crops. It's very chill. I'm enjoying that, and I'm finding I'm kind of like itching to get into it more often. The problem is once I go and start playing it, I'm there for way longer than I need to be. So I'm still trying to figure out how to pace myself in being able to get in and play for a little while and then stop playing. So still working on that. It's the one that Bill Slawski also has pointed out there, Palia or Palia. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I have like a linky-doo somewhere. If you so it's like I said, it's a really chill game, and so if you sign up using somebody else's like referral link, you get like this little windmill, and I was like, windmill, yes. Well, it's like a tabletop size windmill in the game. It's like super small, super cute, but I was like expecting, you know, a windmill, like, you know, the big windmills. So when I got in the game, I was like, cool, because you can get a house in the game. So that was kind of, you know, building and decorating your house is like a big part of the game. I'm like, oh boy. It's like all the parts of Lotro that I love without any of the questing and hitting things. So like there's no orcs to hit, things like that. Anyway, so I was expecting a windmill like this, but no, it's like, and I haven't figured out how to move things up and down off the ground yet. So it's sitting on the ground right now, but it's like the size of that candle. It's like, maybe. Anyway, there's like 5 then cosmetics, I think, that you can earn by other people joining by using your referral link. So I'm waiting for people to use my referral link, so that way I'll get like the 5 things, and then that's it. So yeah, anyway, I've been enjoying that game. Trying to think, what else do I play? So I play Battle for Polytopia on my phone. I play one of those merge games on my phone. I don't know if I'd recommend it. It's really frustrating, but yet I can't stop playing it. It's one of those. And then Palia or Palia, Lotro. What else do I play? Every once in a while, I you know, crank up the like Epic Games that I've downloaded. But I don't do that very often. And then we play board games. We play a lot of board games. So, like, I don't know if you can, you can't really see anything. Let me turn this a smidgen. But I know the sun is like coming right now. Like the sun is on its way to setting. But over in the bookshelves here, starting with that Billy Cost, and then moving further across, is we have a whole set of shelves of board games. We've actually, it's a smaller collection now. When we were in the U.S., we had like hundreds, many hundreds. But we, one of the things I discovered is that if I have so many games that they just sit and they never get played, which is pretty sad because like board games are meant to be played, right? Like, yeah, and I felt bad just having them sit on the shelf year after year. So, because I mean, you get to a point where you have more games than you have time to play them all in a year or 2 or 3. And then it's like, okay, well, how often am I actually going to play this game? And then every time you put something on the table, you're like, well, now I got to relearn the rules because I haven't played this in 3 years. And so then there's all that extra time. And I was like, you know, it would be nice to have like a curated collection of games that I want to play all the time. And it would be a smaller collection. So that way I could just be like, yes, let's play that. We know how to play it. We just played it, you know, a month ago. Boom, we play it. So that would be, yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. And so we have that much space that has the games in them, and every time we get more and start to overfill the space, I'm like, okay, maybe we need to get rid of a few things because we're obviously not going to play all these. So let's sort this out. So that's kind of where we are with games that I play. What about you, Gazdamile? What games do you play aside from Lotro? Actually, that's a quick question for everybody. What all do you all play? Obviously, Bill Slawski is also playing Pelia. Nice. Oh, I should figure out, we should be friends in the game. I'm still figuring out how to do that too, actually. But, what's my character's name? It starts with a D. Yeah, that's not very helpful. There's lots of people who start with D. Currently, you're downloading Starfield. Epic Games TV says, I was using Reshade with Lotro. It made the game even more pretty. I think I saw some of that. It reminded me of, like, the old Star Wars or Star Trek when, like, you know, a woman would be on screen and be like, oh, you know. Kind of had that look to it to me. Let's see. So Epic Games is playing mostly Minecraft. You've played Palia. You're playing Starfield also. So Starfield's obviously a popular one for the couple folks. Skyrim, Oblivion, House Flipper for Aaron Bard. House Flipper. Data Visor is playing Star Wars The Old Republic, right? SWTOR? All into the Star Wars. I do love the Lord of the Ring lore and books, but never got into MMO. That's fair. That's fair. So the thing that I really like about Lotro, one of the things I like about Lotro, there's a lot of them, is that it seems like there's a lot you could do. There's a lot of like niche areas you could get into. So like you could follow the main quest and be like, you know, I'm gonna help the Fellowship reach their destination, and like, cause there is an epic storyline which you are playing as if it's laid out like a book. So let me go to my completed. So for example, there was, you know, volume 1, and you have volume 1, book 1, volume 1, book 2, and these different chapters within that. And that's kind of what guides you through the game. But then while you're in each area, like for example, book 1 sends you to, where is this one? Oh, that's earlier than I was thinking. Like, you know, at one point there's Black Riders and there's new Crebain that have taken root, and we've got they're probably keeping watch, you know, they're probably spies. So, you know, go and take a look at what's going on there, right? So we're not with the Fellowship, we're kind of beside it and doing things that help assist them. But see, while I'm doing that, there might be, you know, a Hobbit nearby who's like, hey, you know, there's also this other thing going on in this area. Can you help me out with that? And so there's all these like side quests that you can do. So some people are just like epic storyline focused only. We don't do any of the side quests. Some people are like, oh, I'll do a few, whatever interests me. And some people, like with a lot of my characters, I've been doing a lot of, like I usually have a completionist character on each server. And so I'm doing all the side quests. But then again, I also really like the festivals. And so there's this kind of like more lighthearted, light quest kind of thing that you can do. So for example, I've just run myself over to the party tree. And here at the party tree, so there's the party tree itself, are a bunch of people, and there's a bunch of stuff going on. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to talk to Campanula Chubb, who's a Hobbit. She's the festival coordinator, and she's like, hey, welcome to the Farmers Faire. Get out there and participate, and there might be a reward in store for you. And remember to keep cool. Nothing ruins the heat faster than heat blisters. So she's like, my quest here is to go and participate in Farmers Faire activities. The Farmers Faire is the celebration that's happening right now in the game. And so then if I look around, there's rings with various hobbits of things for me to go and do. So this has nothing to do with the Fellowship, nothing to do with like the Lord of the Rings quest, the Fellowship quests that were happening, but yet it takes me into the world, and it's like, it's an opportunity to see all the peoples of Middle Earth come together and just enjoy a festival. Philosophically, it kind of takes place when the hobbits, like when Sam and Frodo have just left the Shire, or maybe they've just moved over to Buckland. Like, they're not present here right now because Lobelia has the house. Lobelia has Bag End, and so if you go up to Bag End, Lobelia is there. But like, there's nothing bad and dangerous going on here right now. Like, it's very, like, we're not into the scouring of the Shire. Like, none of that's happening yet, right? So it's very lighthearted and fun, and I get to interact with hobbits and other people, and so that for me, Data Visor is kind of gives me yet another option of something I can do that allows me to engage with being in the world of Middle Earth, but I don't have to go and be like, I have to go attack orcs, or I have to go to this scary place, or any of that stuff. It allows me to kind of enjoy the more lighthearted and interact, but I still feel like I'm in the world, and I really like that. So yeah, just pointing that out, that you've got options if you ever decide you want to give it a try. You don't have, like, there isn't a one size fits all for Lord of the Rings Online. Like, there's so much you can do, and there's so much to know. Like, there's always somebody who's like, how do you do X, Y, or Z? And then somebody else in the chat will be like, here's how you do it. Because there's no way any one person could know all the different things you could do in the game. Like, there's a lot of different things you can do in the game, a lot of different ways you can maneuver yourself. Like, you can change key bindings. Like, in the options, like, this is the options menu. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different categories of things that you can adjust. For example, in the UI settings, so my user interface here, the way I'm interacting with this game, I actually downloaded some skins, because that's the thing you can do, and this is the J.R.R. Delving Hills Wide, number 2, skin that I'm using. So that's why everything has all this little hobbity stuff, and like the little bunting on the bottom, and all the cute little stuff that's going on with my UI, because I downloaded a thing because I like it. Just kind of integrates me more into the Hobbit world. I like that. Gazda Meal says, I mostly play single player games until complete them, and then I move on to the next one. Yeah, I've thought about playing, what's the one with the cat in kind of a post-apocalyptic world? I think it starts with an S. Stray. That looks really good. And I thought about playing that, but that's definitely one where you have like a beginning and an end, right? Like you, as opposed to like this, where you can just keep playing this for year and year and year and still do new things. So yeah, sometimes you get like in like a Portal, like Portal definitely had a beginning and an end, and you can play through it over and over again. But that one, yeah, I also enjoyed it, but like once it's done, I'm like, I don't know. It's so funny. Castiel says 112 or 1,112 quests completed. How many play hours do you have? This isn't even my most played character, which is even funnier. I think it's played. If you type /played PLAYED into the thing, it'll tell you, and it'll tell you how long you've been playing in actual minutes and seconds and everything. So that's not like calendar time, that's like actual physical minutes and seconds in the game. So I have been playing Lotro with this character a total of 3 weeks, 5 days, 10 hours, 57 minutes, and 53 seconds. Yeah. So, and that's been spread out over the last couple of years. I've been playing for like 4.5 years. So some of my characters have more play time than others, but this character is getting more play time now. I was playing okay, so Laurelyn is heavy on the role playing. This server is. So I have 2 characters on the server that I play a lot, and that's this one, and then the other one is Adamantia. And I've been playing Adamantia the most. But Adamantia and Rosenbloom are sisters. And I'm probably going to switch over to playing Rosenbloom more often than Adamantia for a while. I just haven't decided how... So I kind of have Adamantia's personality pretty well in my head. But I don't have necessarily Rosenbloom's personality figured out. So I might just... I don't know. Because Adamantia was the more social one and Rosenbloom was the more adventurous one. But I really want to be playing Rosenbloom more. Like when we would go on adventures, like sometimes the hobbits on Laurelyn will be like, hey, let's go adventure off to this place. And so when I would do that with Adamantia, because she's the social one, she's not good. Like sometimes you go through scary areas or like an area that's bigger than that's a higher level than some of the people who are in the group. And so those people who are higher level in the group, it kind of falls to them to protect and make sure that the ones who are lower level, don't get attacked by the things as we're passing through. And unfortunately, Adamantia is a burglar, and I don't know how to play a burglar at all. I'm like, she has all these different skills, and I know how to use one of them. And so that's not great. But as opposed to Rosenbloom, she's a hunter. I know how to play the hunter. All my mains are hunters. So I'm probably going to switch over to Rosenbloom more often so I can play a hunter, which makes me feel better. So that's why I'm switching over to Rose. And now I just have to figure out how to play her as a character. Gasimil asks, is hunter fun? I think it's fun. Everybody has a different opinion on what kind of play style they like. What I've discovered is that I like hitting things hard, and I like doing it from a distance, and I love being able to travel around and take my party with me. And I can do all of those things as a hunter. So that makes me pretty happy. Now, there are other classes, absolutely, that you can play. Lotro mainly is split into, like, you've got your melee classes where you run up to something and hit them in some fashion, or you've got your distance stuff where you're attacking from a distance in some way, whether you're a minstrel and you're singing at them, or you're a hunter and you're shooting at them, or maybe you're a lore master and you've got, like, control of some of the elements as well as some animals, and you zap them and stuff from afar, or send wind or rain at them or whatever, things like that. So there's 2 kinds of characters in the game. Here, let me pop over here while we're having this chat. I'm going to go ahead and there's a little game you can play over here where these guys are going to race and you have to pick the winner, and it runs every 9 minutes. So let's go ahead and get that started while we're chatting here. Okay, now we're ready. So when they go racing, we will win or we won't win. So okay, let me think. And you know, I missed something else. So, oh, and Epic Games mentions that there's also Before the Shadow that starts in Swanfleet. So they're adding new areas to Lord of the Rings and adding in some lower level areas, which is nice. But anyway, let's see. Aaron Bart says, I love the social aspect of the game. The social aspect of the game is quite impressive. I love the Hobbit communities. Yeah, especially on Lorelyn, it's very heavily focused on the social aspect of the game. And so there's like gatherings that happen on a regular basis. Like every Friday night, Hobbits gather at the Green Dragon in Bywater. And there's dancing, and you can play music in the game. And so people will play music in the game and the Hobbits dance. Or you can basically say, so like if I were to say something like la, la, la. So you see that above my head, how it says la, la, la. So that's how you can say things in the game and other people can see them. I have speech bubbles turned on. So when somebody says something, it shows up above their head, makes it easier for me to see that they've said something. So you can basically, while you're playing music, you say things and you basically then interpret that as if you're singing to the music. So there's a lot of that happens, which is really cool. But anyway, so the question was travel skills, ? Yeah, there's two kinds of, well, so there's travel skills. So let's start with that. You can travel yourself around in various ways. When you start the game, you get a milestone, and there are like literal stones in the game, and you bind your milestone skill to that thing. And then when you press your milestone skill, so like that, which matches what's up here. So when I press that, it's going to take me to that milestone, to that physical spot, to that location in the game. So that's really handy. When you buy a house, you get also a skill that allows you to travel to your personal house. So that's yet another travel skill that you can have. So now you've got two ways of getting around. If you join a kinship and the kinship has a house, you can get a travel to kinship house skill. So another handy place to get around. And then you also get the travel to kinship members house skill. So already you've got you're starting to get kind of a handful of ways to get yourself from A to B, right? So most people have access to all of those, regardless of what class you're playing. You can be playing a brawler, a hunter, a lore master, anything you want, and you have access to those kinds of skills. As you become familiar with different groups, like the elves, not the elves, that's a bad example, with the dwarves. Once I had a whole bunch of reputation that I had earned with the dwarves, I went to them and I said, hey, I have some stuff that I got, some reputation items, and you know me really well. And they're like, cool, we will, you can buy, excuse me, I got cat hair at my nose. They're like, you can buy this guide to Thorin's Hall. You can buy this travel skill that gets you back to us. Or maybe that's not the right one, but there's a Thorin's Hall skill that gets you right back to us anytime you want, right? So you just click that button and you zoom yourself over there. Oh, Aaron Bard's got to go. Thanks for the chat, and thanks for all the info. As always, you are welcome. Have a great day, Aaron Bard, and we will see you in a month. So those are ways you can get yourself around and about in the world. See this table. This would be great in my new house, right? My houses. Look at all that nice food on there. There's not a bunch of dirty dishes, but a few used dishes with food in them. Totally fine. Anyway, sorry, distracted. Slight rant. Okay, so anyway, you have those travel skills. So there's different travel skills you can accumulate as you go through the game as just a character was like, hey, you know me really well. I get to buy this skill that allows me to travel to your location. But it's just you that can do that. And so hopefully other people in your party are also earning those same skills, so that way you can go to the same place at the same time. You can also take stable masters. You can go to a stable master and they're like, here's the places I know where to take you. And you're like, send me there. And then you get on a horse and you go. So that's also another option. But there are two kinds of classes that have additional, well, three. Anyway, there's other ways you can get around. A captain can call people to them by giving a horn. So the captain gets to the place and then, or is it the acorn? Y'all can help me out with this. They send an acorn or something to their friend, and their friend clicks on that acorn, and then they show up where the guy is. They gave him the acorn. That's a particular class that can do that. There's the wardens who can earn extra special travel skills called mustering, which have a lot more options than just those reputation ones that you can earn. But that only, again, it's just that one specific character. They don't take their whole group. It's just they go there. So there's that. But hunters have this really different thing, which is unique to them, where as you are leveling up as a hunter and getting known at different places as you get into the higher level stuff, you can earn a travel skill called a guide to blah, 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 to wherever. So for example, I have a whole bunch of guides things here. It's like guide to Ostgaruth, guide to Thorin's Hall, guide to Bree. That one I use all the time. And basically everybody who's in my fellowship, if they're kind of near enough to me, so like if I was standing here and let's say this person was in my fellowship, and let's say this person was in my fellowship, but let's say that person was in my fellowship, they're too far away probably. But if I were to like hit that, my guide to Bree skill, it takes a minute. There's a little induction. So here, I'll show you what it looks like. See, like I look like I'm looking on the ground, I'm looking around, I'm trying to like see how the path goes, so it's like, I know the hidden ways on how to get back over to this place really fast. And then everybody who's in my kinship, once that induction bar is done, who's nearby me, they also get a little pop-up that says, Rosenbloom is traveling to Bree. Would you like to travel with her? And then you say yes, and then we all show up at Bree together. So that's a special thing that hunters get that nobody else has. And once I started using that and earning those travel skills, I got super addicted to that. Because if we look at the map, each zone, so like Eredluin, Avendim, North Downs, Lonelands, Trollshaws, like as you go across, each of these different areas has usually one travel skill that I as a hunter can earn. So like in the North Downs, I can take people to Estelden. In the Lonelands, I can take people to Ostgaruth. In the Trollshaws, I can take people to Rivendell. Rivendell's nice, it's a hub, a lot going on there, so that's really convenient. And so forth. So in the Shire, I can take people to Mickledelving. Let me turn that off. So over here on the side. So that's a special skill that hunters have that other classes don't have. And it's super useful. Another reason why that can be really handy is those other travel skills we were talking about before, like the milestone skills, of which you can buy multiples. You can have multiple milestones, but they have a 1 hour cooldown. And all of your milestones are kind of a category. And so they share that cooldown. So you use one of your milestone skills, and it's an hour before you can use any of them again. Same thing with like each one of your housing skills is separate, but they all have 1 hour cooldown as well. So travel to kinship member, 1 hour. Kinship member's house. Travel to your kin house, that's a 1 hour cooldown. Travel to your house, that's a 1 hour cooldown. So that's a long time. The nice thing is with Lotro points, which you can earn in the game, you can then go and buy ways to bring that down by 30 or 35 minutes. So there's 3 different things you can get, like the hurried traveler, the well-traveled traveler. No, it's not right, but something. There's like 3 different ones you can buy. And basically once you've bought all 3 of those, all of your travel skills are down to 5 minutes. So that's really handy. And so when those go on sale and I'm playing a new character, I make sure I buy those for my new characters. The one nice thing about the hunter version of that travel skill where I can take everybody with me, they don't have that same cooldown problem. They don't have any cooldown. I can just repeatedly be like, we're going to Bree, we're going to Bree, we're going to Bree. It's actually really handy when you've ported people to the wrong place. Because I get West Angmar and East Angmar mixed up a little bit sometimes. And so sometimes we're trying to go to one, we end up at the other. But it's fine. I just click the button and we travel to the other one instead. Yeah, so those don't cost anything. I mean, asterisk, but basically they don't cost anything. And there's no cooldown. So that's another really handy thing. So I love hunters for all of those things. Hope that answers your question. Yeah, okay, so Gazdemil asks, one thing I noticed is that compared to WoW, Lotro World Chat, is alive. You feel the game is alive, and many people in open world are willing to engage with you. Yeah, that's a really good point. And I know there's always that, like, I don't know, thing about how you don't engage in world, whatever that general chat is that in an MMO, because people can get really toxic. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen in Lotro. It does sometimes. It definitely seems like different servers have kind of a different flavor to them. And in general, the Lotro community is very helpful. And so that is something I am very, very grateful for. And I think that it definitely helps me, feel like this is a place that I enjoy being, because there's enough like real world stuff that can be, not awesome. And so if I'm going to play a game, I want it to be a place where I can just like relax and not get my adrenaline up most of the time. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be some place that just refills me, re-energizes me in some way. And so I appreciate that I can come and play in Lotro and have that experience most of the time. So, Tellurian, thank you. The 3 options are returning traveler, expedient traveler, and hurried traveler. Because I could never remember that, and I have Lotro wiki editing privileges, I went in and made sure that each one of those has a link to the other 2. And I tried to spell out a bit better on the wiki what each one does, because if you're looking to accelerate specifically like your milestone skills, you want to buy the 2 out of the 3 that are going to do your milestone skills, for example. Yeah, so I tried to make that a little bit more clear on the wiki. Thanks, Tellurian, for going and checking that out. Yeah, but half the time I feel like I'm editing the wiki to make my life easier in the future. It's like, because there's times when I'm like, I want to know something, and I go to the wiki and it's not there, and I'm like, dang it. And then I'm like, I find it out, and I'm like, then I don't do anything. And then the next time I'm like, what's that information? I go to the wiki and it's not there. I'm like, dang it. And so then finally I'm like, okay, I got to put this on the wiki. That way I'll help myself out the next time. So another thing I really love about Lotro is the cosmetics game, like the way you can dress up your character. So my characters are so the two of them, Admanch and Rosenbloom, they moved from, why did it do that? Eriador? Show me Eriador. Oh, okay. So they're from the Shire. They're from what I would say the South Farthing, kind of over, not too far from the Brandywine River. And they're part of a large collection of families that farm. They have farms, they have orchards, animals, the whole deal. And but Adamantia and Rosenbloom did move up towards Mickle Delving up to the Shire Homesteads, and so they got a home there together. And but during the Farmers Fair, when the harvest is happening, and there's lots of food being brought to the Farmers Fair, they have to, well, they don't have to, but they go back to the farms, to the homestead, and help out. And so they're always, in their dungarees, and they're keeping the sun out of their faces while they're working. And so when they get a chance to go and hang out at the festival, they're still wearing their working clothes often. So that's why she's dressed up like this. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could just have this whole thing going on with your characters, and I love it. Speaking of like going to other places. Oh, I forgot. I should have. Oh yeah, we'll pick that up. But Ned Longbottom, I should have picked up those quests because I could have turned those in while we were there.
Hello.
That's okay.
Might I speak with
That's
you
okay.
a moment?
All right, we're gonna talk to Tansy Tyfield here. Ice delivery. Yes, we want to go deliver some ice. We're gonna do that. So we're gonna grab some ice, and we're gonna do like that person right there, and we're gonna follow them down. Another cool skill that hunters have is this find the path, where you get an extra run speed, and it applies to your fellowship. Everybody who's nearby gets it also, which is really cool. So I like the faster movement skills. Those are nice. Okay, so we're taking this block of ice over to Hobbit and Bywater. So there's kind of like two hubs nearby here with the festival, and one is by the party tree, and the other one's by Hobbit and Bywater. So we're gonna pop over there. Unfortunately, I can't interact with any of this other stuff while I'm carrying ice. I'm very busy, carrying this ice. Whee! I do love how they kind of throw it up in the air when they're, if you jump. So let me do it again here. Let's see if I can turn the camera around. Whee! Always cracks me up. All right. Anyway, so we're walking this block of ice because they're making ice cream, and so they need the ice for the stirring everything together and making it cold. All right. Well, we're at like almost 2.5 hours. The time has flown by, right, Casper? We have a couple of cats, and Casper is nearby. Maybe. How is the ice created? I don't know, but it comes from near the burrow, by the by Bag End. So maybe there's some cellars there where they're putting cold water and it turns to ice. Yeah, maybe. Could happen. Hey, you know what? While we're down here, we'll go ahead and do the egg thing. Aw, Gasmiel, that's so nice. Thank you. It says your stream is so cozy and interactive. I like it. Well, I figure that's what I like. So that's what I'm going to create, right? And also, I know that there's always like new people to the game. Like the game is 16 years old, but yet there's still new people who show up every day. I mean, I definitely see that. And so I never want to assume that the people that are hanging out here in the chat with me know everything that I know, or know everything that everybody else in the chat might know, or have been exposed to, or any of that, you know what I mean? So I try to make it very like
Good day.
newbie question friendly. When I find myself just zipping through something, I try to stop and be like, okay, wait, let me explain what I'm doing. Things like that. I don't always do it, and sometimes I get a little like just zippy zip, but yeah, especially if there's people who are like, wait, what are you doing? I absolutely want to make sure I explain it so that way other people can have that same experience. It's so funny because like we were talking about Palea earlier, and I'm still learning how to play the game, and I'm like, I can't figure out how to put crops in the ground. And this is a very basic thing. And there's like little tutorials that walk you through these things. And so I read the tutorial, and then I, later on tried to do it. Like I could do it right then, but then later on I couldn't remember how to do it. Like very simple, stupid things like that. So I went looking for like somebody streaming who could explain this to me, right? And they're like, hey, you just click it. And I'm like, I don't think that's the answer because that's not what I'm doing. And yes, you just click it, but there's more to the story. Anyway, so yes, I want to make sure that as people are also joining the Locho community, that we are supporting the new folks. You know what? That is me food, not a you food. So yeah, but thanks for coming by. This is Casper. We have 2 cats that we got from the animal shelter. We've had them for, gosh, we got them at the end of May a year ago. So a year and some. And he's the younger of the 2. He's now 7. And Kato is probably outside. We have a little cat door, and we have like a contained outdoor space for them. So they can go out the door and then go and hang out outside. And they can like lay in the grass, or we've got, so we live in the Netherlands, and it's really common for Dutch houses to have like a little building in the back of your garden where you can sit and, have, drinks or do a barbecue or hang out with people, stuff like that. So we have one of those at the back of our garden. And it's mostly open. It's open on 3 sides, but then the 4th side we went ahead and enclosed with like netting kind of stuff, so the cats can go out there, but they can't like get out. So that's really cool for them. So they just take their like little outside. Oh, he's gone. Take their little outdoors. It's not a tunnel. We keep calling it a tunnel, but it's above the ground, like. So it's a path. It's an enclosed path. And they can take that and get out to the outdoor space. And I think that's where she's at because she really loves being out there. We're right by some water, so she's able to they go out there and they watch the ducks and, and stuff. So we're looking for eggs here. And it's a little challenge, a little time challenge. And you need to get 5 of the white ones in order to win. And I have 5 of them. And I don't know if the other person got 5 or not. So I'm not collecting any more of those because I want to make sure they got their 5 also. And then there's also different colors that show up from time to time. So I just got like a green and yellow striped one, I think. There's spotted ones, there's striped ones, and then there's solid colored ones. So I just got one of those special ones. So there we go. So I won because I got 5 white ones in the time allotted. So that gave me some tokens. And then I also get the eggs themselves, which is kind of nice. So the eggs give you tokens. So I forgot to mention, so this festival, one of the things all the festivals do is they give you tokens of that festival. So I'm earning Farmers Faire tokens. And then I can use those Farmer Faire tokens to buy things to decorate my house, outfit items like, is anything do I have from the Farmers Faire? That's, I think, from the Harvest Festival. That's from the Yule Festival, most of that is. That is, I think, Yule Festival. I think most of those pieces are. Oh, what's that one from? The fancy, oh, not the right part. What is the elegant short sleeve dress? Y'all remember? Is that one from the Spring Festival? Or, I can't remember. Oh, and then the circlet of fish, fresh picked flowers. I think that's Spring Festival. So I think the elegant short sleeve dress might be the Anniversary Festival. And then, anyway, so you get the point. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can get. Hang on, let me pick up this quest.
Hello there.
So this is a fantastically hobbity thing, where we are in the fields right by Farmer Maggot's house. So this is Farmer Maggot's house. He's got a mushroom tent over there. He's got his dogs, and we are in the field where there are mushrooms. So when the event begins, we are waiting, there will be mushrooms strewn about in these different rows, and you run up and eat the mushroom real quick and try not to get seen by Farmer Maggot's dogs, who will be wandering around here in the area. They start near the bottom and they're kind of slow at first, so that's why I kind of start near them, because then I work my way away from them quicker than they can go. So yeah, that's my plan. So anyway, so oops, hang on, I gotta pay attention to mushrooms. So you can see on my little mini radar that they show up like eyeballs. Cool, I got the thing. So one of the mushrooms I ate turned the scarecrows into like big scary things from within Lotro. So that's fun. Oh, that person's probably eating that mushroom. So there we got like a Nazgul. So scary. Oops, there's a dog. We want to not be seen by the dog. Very important. If you get seen by the dog, you lose the, oh, Jiminy Christmas. We are so close to getting seen. Okay. Let's maybe slow down a minute. Slow down, chill out. There we go. So I don't know if you noticed, but you can outrun the dogs. But if you stop to eat the mushroom, there ain't no way you're outrunning them. And the cool thing is they tend to go in one direction and then they stop. And then they might change direction. So you kind of like wait them out. So like there's Fang walking by. So I just waited him out and he's gone. Okay, so now I've got, so the goal in this one is to get 8. I've gotten my 8. For each one that you nom, you get like 2 Farmers Faire tokens. So this is a great way to get a bunch of tokens. And I'm going to guess that my other competitor in this game managed to get their 8 as well. Or got seen. Some people think, I gotta go for the mushroom, and whether the dog is there or not. And the key with this one is don't do that. Avoiding the dogs is actually priority number 1. The mushrooms will still be there. You'll get your 8. Don't worry about it. As long as you can keep avoiding the dogs, you'll do great. So see, they stopped. So I'm waiting to see which direction they go. There we go. So I can kind of pass by them the other way. Oh, Tellurian, you're right. Tellurian says, as far as I recall, it's 1 to 2 mushrooms or tokens per mushroom. You're right. The plain ones are 1. Well, I guess it depends, because that was 1. That one was a 2. Oh, let's get out of here. There's a dog. The green spotted one, that was a 2. I think the fancy ones are 2, and the plain ones are, like the plain white one is 1. Yeah, I think that's how that works. And then with those eggs that I was collecting before, I get to keep the eggs, which is kind of fun, because when you open up the egg, there's tokens inside. Ooh, maybe I don't go that way yet. There's a dog coming that way. I'm using select to, oh, it's over, to select the nearby item, and then I'm using shift to switch from one thing to the next thing so I can search around.
Hello there.
All right, you ran circles around Farmer Maggot's dogs. You know it. And look, I had a funny mushroom, so look how tall I am. I'm as tall as that guy. I'm super tall. Super tall. Anyway, so yeah, look at that. Look, I'm so much taller than the other hobbits. It's crazy. Oh my goodness. I'm so tall. Let's get rid of some names. See, look how big I am. Oh, there we go. Now I'm back to small. Oh, so I was going to say, with those eggs, let me hop back on my mountain real quick. I'm going to pop over to the fishing area. There's a fishing hole nearby, so we're going to pop over there. Because I have a fishing quest that is in progress, and once I talk to this lady here, it starts a 10-minute timer. So I want to go ahead and get that 10-minute timer started. I'm not actually going to fish, probably. It's fishing for Mathams, and I don't need Mathams. Or maybe I do. I haven't actually checked on this character. She's kind of been... So one thing I was going to mention earlier is, so as you go through the game, like, you get higher and higher level unless you do something to stop your progress. But I haven't been. And so all of these quests that we're doing as part of the festival are actually giving me experience. And so I'm slowly leveling up as I go on. So this character is level 93. out of 140 is the cap right now. And so it's really funny because, like, she hasn't been hardly anywhere in the world. Like, I've been through the Shire with her, but even then I don't think I've done everything in the Shire. She's been in Bree, but I don't think I've done a lot of Bree questing. Yeah, I'm not, actually I should look at my quest log. Not the completed though. Let's look at where I'm at. So I'm in book 1, Prisoner of the Free Peoples. Oh, up in the Misty Mountains. And then this is Echoes in the Dark. Oh, that's in Moria. So that's as far as I've gotten, which is like level 50 stuff. From a questing perspective. So, you know, this character's got a little bit of catching up to do if I want to do any of that stuff. Which we'll see. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, anyway, so those eggs, the white ones, if you open it up, and they're bound to your character. The white ones are bound to your character. So there's not much I can do about this. So I'm going to go ahead and open up these because I can't give these away. They give you one Farmers Faire token each, which is cool. And then there are deeds in the game. Yeah, let me wave at this guy. Hello, Boardroom. There are deeds for finding and opening the different kinds of eggs also. So let me open my deed tracker here. And so in the game, there is a deed log, which looks like this. And then there's a plugin called the Deed Tracker, which looks like this. And they're set up very, very similarly. The Deed Tracker was set up to emulate the deed log. The difference is the Deed Tracker is able to give me a lot more information than what the deed log gives me. So that's one of the reasons why I love going to the Deed Tracker. So like I have class deeds, of which apparently I have done 1 out of 45. That's really small. Race and social. So social includes the festivals. So let's scroll down to Midsummer Farmers Faire. Farmers Faire. I have collected color eggs. So the blue, the green, the orange, the red, and the purple. I have collected spotted eggs, but I have not collected all the striped eggs or the golden egg. The golden egg you never see. Like, it's such a rare thing. So I'm still working on the striped ones. So these spotted ones are not bound to my character. So I could trade them away. I can, you know, give them to another character. I can put them up in the auction house. Like, I've got options there. I will probably leave it for now, but just so it's an FYI, there's options. All right, well, anywho, so I have been streaming for like almost 3 hours. So I think I am going to call it a day. It's a day. Coming into an evening. And I'm going to go get something to eat. And I'm going to canoodle with the kitty cats. Yes, I am. And I'm going to eat some food. And I'm going to do some more knitting, possibly. Or maybe crocheting some more stuff because I'm making like a border to go around one of the baskets on my new bicycle. With like making little flowers and stuff. So that's kind of a fun little project I'm playing with. So anyway, if you have any last minute questions, put those into the chat and we'll see what we can discover here. If you want to know more about who is on this channel and when, you can follow that link there from Moobot. Oh, I think Borgrim was trying to do one of the one of the fishing quests. You have to do some crazy stuff, and you have to. It's a numbers game. Like you have to fish, and try to get specific fish, but not other fish, and it's ridiculous. Anyway, that's another deed I have not completed. Most people haven't. What else? Oh yeah, so normally I'm here every Tuesday, and then right after me is my sweetie B4, who does a stream called Pluggin' Along, where he goes over Lotro plugins and does some plugin development while he's streaming. But it's been a busy week, and so he is not going to be streaming tonight. And then our September, as we realized today, is crazy busy. So we are unable to stream next week or the week after or the week after. So, so unfortunately, Gazdemil, you will not see me again for the rest of September. So just put it on your calendar to come back on October 3rd. I will be back. So I'll be back the first week of October on Tuesday, as we have been. We might have a discussion about switching to another day. At one point, he was on Tuesdays and I was on Thursdays, and we combined, and we're both on Tuesdays now. And this has worked out really well for quite a long time, but it's possible we might want to get a little further away from Monday. But we'll talk about that. We'll decide if we're going to stay on Tuesdays or if we're going to try and scooch over to another day at some point. So anyway, for now, we're still on Tuesdays. So definitely come back again on Tuesday. I start streaming at 11:30 Eastern time, Eastern US time. And before normally starts around 2 or whenever it is that I finish. So, and then we just kind of stream for like a 5-hour chunk generally. But not today. He's not going to be here today. So we've got that other new person who's on at like 9 o'clock Eastern time in the evening, so you got a little while to go and, you know, go do some other things and then come back if you want to catch him on his stream with a Mailang. I don't see any other questions in the chat, so I think we are going to call it there. So thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with me today. It's been a lovely time. Really enjoyed spending time with everybody. We got to go see the Hobbit housing, which is really cool. We've been waiting for that for a long time, I think. So it's nice to finally see that in existence. And who knows, maybe the next time you see me, I'll have a River Hobbit, or I might wait until the Mariner class comes out, that's coming out later on this year. So I might make a new River Hobbit as a Mariner. More likely, I'll make her a hunter, because, you know, that's how I go. Skagosi says, thank you for a great stream, and we'll look forward to seeing you both in October. Awesome. Yeah, it would be great. I really enjoy our little group here hanging out. I like seeing familiar faces, so that makes me happy to see that happen as well. All right. Well, so until I see you again, remember, as I say, to stay in touch with that Hobbit side of your heart. So take care of each other, take care of yourself, make sure you get plenty of rest and plenty to eat and all of that. And I will see you again next time. All right, bye-bye now.